It's another season at the Championship Online Racing Association Monday night series. Top 18 looking for prizes tonight, but it's all going to start with your three-time champion that's in front of the field to open season number 4 here with Championship Online Racing Association. You're watching LSR TV's live coverage of the Smalley Drywall 101 live from Talladega Superspeedway, the opening race of Season 4 of the Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Series. Good evening, race fans. Joe Cortez with you live in the booth for 101 long laps of racing here from Talladega Superspeedway. It's the Dale Smalley Drywall 101, part of the Sunday Money Series, and it's going to be a brand new season here for the Championship Online Racing Association. Some different things going on this season, a lot of rule changes. We are going to see all the races in groups of 5. The first 5 races of this season running in the trucks, and I've got a feeling we are not going to be disappointed by what we see on track tonight. Qualifying taking place right now here at the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 at Talladega Superspeedway, and qualifying rules have changed a little bit over the off-season. They are doing the regular qualifiers during the week, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. You'll still be able to try to qualify your way in for the Sunday Money Big Show on Sundays, but it's now going to also go to the top 3. The top 3 winners of the qualifying races will have their fastest times logged, and the fastest times that they qualify in, or that they have in the Sunday Money Series, or in the qualifying races leading into the Sunday Money Series, I should say, those will count as their qualifying times, and those 3 drivers who win the first 3 qualifiers will show up at the top of the board. So as everybody qualifies now, they're qualifying for 4th through all the way through the rest of the field, for 4th through the 36th position, as they only start 36 cars here in the Sunday Money Series. So starting on the pole tonight, as everybody else qualifies for the rest of the field, it's going to be the 3-time champion himself, the man who's bringing you this race, the kingpin of Dale Smalley Drywall, Dale Smalley himself. He is going to take the pole. He had a fastest lap time of 48.083 seconds on the Monday qualifier. Starting on the outside of him will be Jeremy Crandall. He was the winner of the January 11th qualifier, and Jay Anderson will start 3rd. He had the 3rd fastest time, winning the Wednesday qualifier, all going into the first race of Season 4 in the Sunday Money Series. So you starting the qualifying order starting to come through. The second place finisher last season, Dallas Miracle, qualifying now in position number 4. Michael Churchwell, a perennial favorite in the CORA Sunday Money Series. He will start in position number 6 right now. Colton Berkey, one of the favorites always here. He's going to start in the top, it looks like in the top 10. And Alan Larson, who you often hear here in the booth for these CORA races, he is going to right now scheduled to start in the top 10, but qualifying still plenty of time left to go. Over a minute left in qualifying, and anything can happen when these guys take the track. Alan Larson just gets bumped out of the top 10. Ed Peebles in the 19 machine. He will start now in the top 10. Other notable names in the field tonight. Everett Lane will start in the top 12. Mark McFadden will start in the top 12 as well. Rex Buchanan, Michael Johnson, both starting in the top 16. Joel Wood coming back for the first race of the season tonight. He will start inside the top 20. Darren Ackert, Nathan Sedlak, James Wilkins, Justin Halverson, Sal Cardi, all these names you've heard here before here at CORA and across the iRacing Sim, all coming together for 101 laps tonight in the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 at Championship Online Racing Association. Qualifying officially coming to an end. We should be able to grid in just a moment's time. So your top 3 winners, the guys who won the races in the beginning, the qualifying races leading into tonight's race, they did not take a qualifying time. They already have their qualifying positions locked in, so they will go to the back they will start in the back of the field. When we go gridding, as soon as all the trucks hit the line, they will go ahead and pull up to those top 3 positions, and everyone else behind them will file in behind and get ready to go. 101 laps around the very long Talladega Superspeedway, 2.66 miles around the big monster. You can run this thing wide open all day long and get ready for a lot of fun driving. You're going to see 3-wide driving. You might even see some 4-wide driving. These trucks are very nimble. They're very light, and their center of gravity is absolutely different because of their shape, which means we're going to see a lot of moves you wouldn't normally see in a Sprint Cup car, in a Gen 6 car, or even a nationwide car as they get ready to go back to grow to green flag racing in just a few minutes time. The first racing Ford Mustang pace car is at the start finish line. Your two provisional leaders are on the pole. Let's go ahead and start taking you through tonight's qualifying order. In position number 1, he will come to the front of the field when we roll off. It'll be Dale Smalley, your 3-time champion, the kingpin of Smalley Drywall. Bring you the Dale Smalley Drywall 101. He will start at the top of the field tonight. Jeremy Crandall will start in position number 2. Outside of here, behind him in row number 2, starting in position number 3, it will be Jay Anderson, who won the Wednesday qualifier leading up in to the CORA Sunday Money event. Position number 4 will belong to Dallas Miracle, one of your runners-up from last season, driving the people against distracted driving truck. He will start in position number 4 tonight. Gary Bauer will start the last truck to start in the top 5, starting on the outside of row number 3. It will be Mark Maffitt in the 10 machine. On the inside of row number 4 will be Michael Churchma in the 88. Outside of him in position number 8 will be Robbie Williams in the 34 machine. David Wank will start in position number 9. Colton Berkey finds his way into the top 10 tonight in the 81 machine. Row number 6 belongs to Brad Larson in the 63 machine. Outside of him, the 42 second 2 of George Bark will start on the outside. Row number 7 belongs to Ed Peoples in the 19. Outside of him, Alan Larson. You hear him often here in the CORA broadcast. He will start on the outside of that row. Row number 8 belongs to Everett Lane in the 1 machine. Mark McFadden will start on the outside of him. Next row is Rex Buchanan in the 43 machine. Garrett Atwell in the 4. Behind them, it'll be Michael Johnson on the inside. Daniel Ingerfeld will start on the at the outside of row number 10. He'll be in position number 20 tonight. As the trucks start to roll, we will see our leaders come through the field and get ready to go green flag racing in 1 lap's time. Position number 21 belongs to Jeremy Crandall in the 92 machine. Outside of him, on the outside of him, it'll be in position number 22. It'll be Dominic Dyball, who will start in the number 15 truck. Position number 23 belongs to Joel Wood in the 79. The 47 of Don Stevenson will start in the next position, position number 24. Row number 13 belongs to Michael Watkins. Ross Cato starting on the outside of him. Behind them, it'll be Daniel Miller, the 06 Armstrong Chevrolet on the inside. Eric Rodeman on the outside of him in the number 96 machine. Row number 15 belongs to Dylan Ackert. Ryan Borges on the outside of him. Behind them, Nathan Sedlak, a regular favorite here in CORA, will start in the next row over. James Wilkins on the outside of him. Position 33 belongs to Justin Halverson in the 21 machine. Dustin Loynes will start position number 34. Sal Accardi, position number 35 in the 39 machine. Travis Brown in the 33 machine will start position number 36. Will start in position number 36. Martin Porter, not qualified to take the green flag in tonight's race. 36 trucks will take the field tonight. Get ready to go green flag racing. Your leaders have pulled up to the front. Dale Smalley now in control of this field. Jay Anderson on the outside of him. And Jeremy Crandall will start position number 3 on the field in the 92 machine. And now they just make this way through turns 3 and 4 and get ready to go green flag racing. The first racing Ford Mustang pace car getting ready to get the heck out of the way of these guys. It will be a slobber knocker tonight. The Dale Smalley Drywall 101 about to kick off season number 4 with the Championship Online Racing Association. First racing Ford Mustang pace car out of the way. Now Dale Smalley will take control of this field. He finished last season in the first place position. He's going to start this season in position number 1. Will he be able to hold on to it throughout tonight's race, or will a new leader rise? He hits the loud pedal, green flag flies, and the first green flag of the 2014 Season 4 campaign for Championship Online Racing Association starts. And it starts with a battle for the lead. Dale Smalley on the inside, the number 18 on the inside, or on the outside. And now we're getting ready to go 2 by 2. The 18 machine, the 69 machine doing battle back and forth. Dale Smalley, Jay Anderson. Jay Anderson has the advantage now, getting the push from the 27 of Gary Bauer. Outside lane is faster right this moment. The 1827 now going to duck lower. They're going to finish her pass on Smalley. Yes, Smalley your leader, but not by her very long, as Jay Anderson, Gary Bauer, Dale Smalley has no problems getting around Dale Smalley. So now scored Jay Anderson in position number 1 to complete the first lap of the 2014 Season 4. As they come to the start-finish line, the rest of the field starting to line up a little bit. The 18 and 27 get across the line. The 18 will lead lap number 1 officially. The 27, Gary Bauer behind him. Now it's a battle for position number 3. Jeremy Crandall in the 92 machine has advantage. Dale Smalley starting to push with Dallas Miracle. Those two drivers are teammates, and they are going to try to push as best they can out here. You may not see as much tandem drafting with these trucks as you would the Nationwide car, but the tandem draft, if done right, can be a huge advantage. As you see Dale Smalley getting the push from Dallas Miracle there, and they are going to continue to start making a run towards the front of this field. Behind them, lots of hungry drivers looking for position, including the 10 of Mark Maffitt, the 88 of Michael Churchma, the 81 of Colton Berkey, the 20 of David Wenk. Your top 9 now represented, all nose to tail in 2 lines. Lap number 2 could go to the 69 of Dale Smalley. Will it happen? They cross the line. Dale Smalley officially leading lap number 2, picking up his first bonus point for leading up his first lap in season number 4. 88 and 20 now getting left behind by the 48 and 69. Dale Smalley, Dallas Miracle saying thanks for the push, Michael Churchma, David Wenk. We're going to go ahead and see you on the other side. They're going to go duck down low in front of the 18 of Jay Anderson and the 27 of Gary Bauer. And now the tandem drafting begins. You have 6 pairs all in the top 6 positions. Mark Maffitt, Colton Berkey, George Bark, and it looks like the number 42 machine as well. I'm sorry, the 92 of Jeremy Crandall, the 10 of Mark Maffitt, the 81 of Colton Berkey, and the 42 of George Bark, your top 10. And those guys are all lined up. It looks like they're going to try to get a run going here early on lap number 3 and see if they just can't keep up with your leaders. Back up front, Dale Smalley making the tandem switch with the 48 of Dallas Miracle. They go wide. The number 48 blocked those 2 lines for a little bit there, and now the 48 will lead the first group out there. Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley, your 2 leaders right now. Jay Anderson, Gary Bauer happy to run on their bumpers, and now the 92 of Jeremy Crandall playing both lines, getting the push from George Bark. George Bark wants to go fast. He wants to start making some noise up front behind them. Alan Larson and the 19 of Ed Peoples, they've hooked up now, and they're going to try their luck on the high side. They run 2 by 2 around position number 7. Your top 6 now starting to break away from the field. Miracle and Smalley in front. The 18 of Anderson and Gary Bauer, they are hooked up together. And the teammates, Churchman and David Wenk, all hooked up. So 2 by 2 by 2. Your first 2 tandems starting to break away, but don't look back now, because here comes Crandall and the number 42 machine. Sorry, the 42 of George Bark. Those 2 have caught up to each other, and now underneath them, it's a 10 and 81. Side by side, they go into the back stretch, a super stretch, a very busy place right now. Your leaders all line up. The only people trying the high line right now at the top of the field, Jeremy Crandall and George Bark. Everyone else lined up throughout the field all the way to position number 28 as the 79 of the 79 machine. That belongs to Joel Wood. You see him now trying to hold off some guys back there and see what he can do. The entire field lined up, single file, nose to tail. Only people trying the high line right now is George Bark and the 92 of Jeremy Crandall. Everybody else happy to run low line. Dallas Miracle officially your leader on lap number 5. Still plenty of racing left to go. Over 90 laps left in this event. This is not even close to being done yet. We are going to see a lot of great racing here. You won't want to miss what comes up next. It's a slow start, but hey, in order to finish first you must finish. Tandem draft switch once again up front in through turns 3 and 4. Dale Smalley, Dallas Miracle, they will make the switch that time, and Dale Smalley will once again capture the lead on this field. But don't count out now the number 92 and 42. The 92 of Jeremy Crandall, the 42 of George Bark. Those guys using the tandem to their advantage, and they are digging as hard as they can for a two-truck operation. They are happy to be digging here early and often. Only problem is that he's going to tear up a little bit of tire and a lot of gas running that high line all by themselves. They may have to change their pit strategy just a little bit if they want to continue to run aggressive. Now you see them go through the field. They are now beside the 10 of Mark Maffett and the 81 of Colton Berkey. George Bark, after making the tandem draft, George Bark in front, the 92 machine behind him, that's Jeremy Crandall, and now they're starting to drop through the field. Just passing them that time by was Ed Peoples in the 19 and Alan Larson in the 24. Mark McFadden in the 90 machine. He's going to continue going back there. Daniel Ingerfeld as well. They're going to run side by side. Now it's the 34 of Robbie Williams, the 83 machine, or 63 machine of Brad Larson. They're going to try the high line back in the top 15. They're running about position 16th and 17th, respectively. Everett Lane in the 1 machine. Now he's starting to get a little bit of run. He's in the top. He's looking to be in the top 15 for the first time tonight. That tandem draft that was running so hot so early, Jeremy Crandall and Robbie Williams, they're not doing so hot now. The 42, Raul Field, 92 gets around, gets to the 06, the 53's around, 43's around, the 78 is involved as well, and we have our first major incident of the night. Caution on lap number 8. Try and make some tandem draft changes, and that is going to bring out our first yellow flag, the 06, on his roof, spinning like a top as a result of that incident, and that is going to be major trouble. Lots of guys going to have to burn at least one of their resets to get back on track as a result of that major oops. First yellow flag out, lap number 8. You see the replay right now, and it looks like it starts around that 53 machine, and that is Daniel Ingerfeld. And you see him there. He's trying to hold on for dear life, but it looks like he just gets it. He just can't avoid the number 92 and the 42. Looks like getting involved with each other. The 53 of Daniel Ingerfeld, the 90. The 90 of Mark McFadden. In front of them, it's the 92 of Jeremy Crandall, and the 42 of George Mark. It looks like they're trying to do a tandem switch there, and the timing was just off for both those machines, and that's going to cause the 90 to jump into the 92 machine, and that's going to cause major damage for all those trucks back there. Several trucks involved, including the 53 machine, the 1 of Everett Lane, the 06 machine got a piece of that. In fact, the 06 of Daniel Miller, he ended up on his roof as a result of that one. The 15 machine involved in that one. The driver of the 15, that is Dominique Demal. He's going to have some major trouble. Joel Wood in the 78. Check the 78 machine belonging to Michael Johnson. He's going to have major trouble as well. The 35's got his front end banged in. The 35 belonging to Nathan Sedlak. So a lot of regulars here in CORA already coming to some early trouble. As you see pit road getting to be real busy down there. Alan Larson coming in for an early stop. Ed Peoples coming in. George Bark doesn't have a choice. He's got to come in this time. Robbie Williams comes in. The 63 of Brad Lawson looking for tires and fuel, and everybody looking for a lot of the same thing. 2 tires, fuel, and then they're back to being down and away. Notably, though, your leaders not electing to come down to pit road this time. Dallas Miracle stays out. Dale Smalley, Jay Anderson, Gary Bauer, Michael Churchma, David Wenk, Mark Maffett, Colton Berkey, all electing to stay out and all electing to try to make something work out there and try to see if they can't figure something out for themselves. Try to play a little pit strategy here early at Talladega Superspeedway. It's a long enough track where you can play pit strategy, but the last thing you want to do, no matter what, is run out of gas right in the middle of the run or run out of gas towards the end of the race. Running out of gas will end your night in some way, shape, or form, as it's a long way back to pit road when you're getting the tow, and that's not where you want to be. You don't want to be waiting on that tow truck as you get past 2, maybe 3 times trying to get back to pit road. So pit strategy, the early name of the game for your leaders out here. Right now, it is Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley, Jay Anderson, Gary Bauer, and Michael Churchma rounding out your top 5 in the first race, the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 at Talladega Superspeedway, the first race of Season 4 for the Championship Online Racing Association. So now the field's starting to line up just a little bit. Everyone just doing what they can to save fuel. It's only lap 10. We still got 90 more of these left to do, or 91 officially when we cross the line. It'll be about 89 laps when we go back to Green Flag Racing left in this feature at the Sunday Money Series. A lot of interesting rule changes that we're seeing here happen tonight, and seeing being the recipients of tonight. For instance, the top 3 driver rule, the top 3 qualifiers now coming out of those qualifying races. That's a new rule that they've added for the 2014 season number 4. Another interesting rule that they've added is the fact that they're not going to go to such random and very far-fetched changes as a result of driver feedback. So this season, unlike last season where 1 week you could be in the trucks at a super speedway and then in the Indy cars at a Richmond, you're going to see these guys run 5 in the trucks, 5 in the Indy cars, and then, if my memory serves me correctly, it'll be 5 in the trucks, 5 in the Indy cars, and then 5 in the Gen 6 cars. So it's going to be a complete different change for these guys. They will do some more open wheel racing. It's going to be in groups of 5, so they will have time to get used to a car, get adjusted to a car or truck, in the case may be, and be able to have a continued, consistent, solid run. This was directly based off driver feedback out here, and these guys are very excited about the rule changes and how it's going to affect their 2014 campaigns. So as we mentioned, lots of guys getting paid out as a result of each of the qualifying races. Top 10 do get something for their efforts. Top place, $50 as a result of winning the Sunday Money Show. Second place will get $30, third place $20, fourth place $15, fifth place $10, sixth place only $9, seventh place $8, eighth place $7, ninth place $6, and 10th place gets their money back. Plus, the pole sitter will get an extra $5 bonus for showing up at the top of the field, and the driver with the best safety record of the evening will also walk away with a $5 bonus. So if you are the pole sitter, if you end up winning and you end up being the safest driver on the field, you could easily make $60 in a night. Not bad for a night of racing here in the iRacing Sim. Find out more at CORA-Racing.com. CORA-Racing.com, the home of Championship Online Racing Association and the Sunday Money Series here on LSR TV. Pace car lights are off. It will be 1 to go with 89 laps left to go here at Talladega Super Speedway. Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley, you're starting in the front row. Jay Anderson, Gary Bauer behind them. Michael Churchma, David Wenck, row number 3. Mark Maffitt, Colton Berkey, row number 4. Alan Larson back in the top 10. Ed Peoples as well. And still a lot of drivers with hopes to win this race, or at least have a good finish. Guys like Brad Lawson in position number 12 in the 63 machine. Garrett Atwell in the 4. He will restart 13th. Travis Brown finds his way through the melee. He's going to start within the top 15. Salicardi started at the back of this field. He's now going to be in 17th. Joel Wood and Everett Lane, despite that big trouble, they got it reset, and they're going to be starting with just within the top 20. Joel Wood in the 20th position. Everett Lane in the 1. He will restart 21st. And surprisingly enough, only 2 drivers not on the lead lap tonight. Daniel Miller and Jeremy Crandall. Those 2 drivers will not be on the lead lap, which is surprising considering how many trucks got involved in that major incident only a few laps ago. 2 more turns, and we're back to Green Flag Racing. Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley, the 2 drivers chasing each other all season for the championship. They will start positions number 1 and 2. Michael Churchma, one of your runners-up, he will restart position number 5, and Churchma is hungry. He knows he can win this race, and he would want nothing better than to decrown your 3-time champion, Dale Smalley. The first racing Ford Mustang pace car will come down pit road. This time by, lights are off. He's going to get the heck out of the way and let these guys do what they do best in these big Chevy Silverado trucks. Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley, first and second. They get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, knowing there's a litany of drivers out there who want to decrown them. 34 drivers will try to take it away, But right now, on the restart with 89 laps left in the show, it will be Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley. Smalley now on the loud pedal, and he's going to move hard. He's going to run on the high side, going through turns 1 and 2. 69-48 running tandem. Now here comes the 27 of Gary Bauer. Jay Anderson lost his draft partner, so now he's got to figure out what he wants to do. 48-69, almost get in trouble trying to get up in front of each other, and that might be a little bit of miscommunication on the teammates' part, but nonetheless, they're going to run it outside by themselves. Gary Bauer, Jay Anderson down low. Michael Churchman, David Wenk, they're now going to run tandem by themselves. They're going to try to run that third line, that middle line. Now look here, the 24-19. That's going to be the number 24 of Alan Larson, the 19 of Ed Peoples. They're going to try to make it 3 wide on the restart. All three of these lines chasing the 48 Dallas Miracle, the 69 of Dale Smalley. And we got a big race on our hands. It's going to be 3 wide through the top 10. So up front, it's the 48, the 69, the 88 of Churchma. Those guys have gone. Those guys are starting to check out on the field. Gary Bauer immediately on their bumper. Now, interesting though, the 88 and the 20, they got split up as a result of how that all shook out. So the 88 has no draft help. The 27 barely getting any draft help from the 18 of Jay Anderson. Now the 20 has to rely on the 24 of Alan Larson and the 19 of Ed Peoples. He needs to rely on their kindness if he wants to get back up front and get back to his teammates. The big question, though, is will it happen? Meanwhile, back through this field, a lot has shaken up as a result of that first lap. Not only is Churchman now in third, Gary Bauer, Jay Anderson, fourth and fifth. Garrett Atwell, it's the first time we've seen him in the top 10 tonight. He'll show up in position number 6. Eric Rodman as well finds his way into the top 10. He's position number 7. Mark Maffett, David Wenk, and Colton Berkey round out your top 10, and they continue to do 2-line battles behind them as well. The 8 and 24. That's Ed Peoples, now Larson. They're trying the high line for that 11th and 12th position. Underneath them is the number 39 of Salacardi. He was in position number 14, looking to pick up 4 positions as a result of good positioning. The 8 machine of Martin Porter, he's looking up to pick up some position as well, as he's going to go high, and it looks like let the 24 and the 19 around. Now the 1 of Everett Lane, he got himself a reset, and he's back in the mix as well. Everett Lane could show up in the top 15 this time by as they come by for the score. Everett Lane just outside the top 16. Number 83, or number 63 of Brad Lawson, he's going to reject him, but number 1 will not be denied. He's going to continue to work. Travis Brown in the 33 machine, he's down low, and he wants to make some moves as well, catch up with some of his teammates who are running up front in this field. Alan Larson, though, and the number 19 machine of Ed Peoples, those 2 trucks are on a mission right now. Their mission, win at all costs, and they are continuing to try the high line to see how fast they can dig to go up front. Lap number 16 about to be history as your leaders come into the tri-oval. Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley still your leaders. Michael Churchma still immediately back there, going to do dogfighting a little bit with those 2 drivers up front. Michael Churchma, Gary Bauer in that mix as well. Jay Anderson, Garrett Atwell was going to try the high line, but he was trying the high line all by himself. He did not want to get passed by the low line freight train, so Garrett Atwell chucks back into position. Eric Rodman, Mark Maffett, David Wenk, and Colton Berkey rounding out the top 10, and your top 10 now starting to get some real distance between them. About a second between your top 10 and position number 11 in company. Salacardi now being scored in position number 11. The 39 machine in running in front of the 94. That's Robbie Williams behind them. The 63 of Brad Lawson and 33 of Travis Brown. They're working as hard as they can to keep it moving down low. Up on the top of the 24 and 19. Let's run on board with Salacardi right now. That's the 39 machine. And you see those leaders, they're there. They want them. They're just out of reach, though. But if they can continue to keep a draft going of their own and keep a little freight train going, Salacardi might be on the back bumper of Colton Berkey in no time at all. Remember, it's only the top 10 that get paid as a result of the Sunday Money Series. So that 10th position, even if it's $5, that still pays your way in for your show tonight and gets you live here on LSR TV. battle continues for position number 10. Big trouble almost for the 24 of Alan Larson. Forced to check up a little bit from the 19 of Ed Peoples. They're going to lose a little bit of time, and now your top 11 back caught up with your leaders, and we're getting ready to go back to some slobber knocking racing out here. Colton Berkey holds on to the top 10, but Robbie Williams now and the 63 of Brad Lawson, they continue to fight on the high side as well. Brad Lawson high, Robbie Williams high, and these guys are digging as hard as they can. They want to make some moves. They want to see if they can't break into the top 10 as well. Meanwhile, back up front, almost lost it for the 27 of Gary Bauer in position number 4. He's going to get right back in line, even though he almost lost it on turns 1 and 2. Right back with Michael Churchman, now getting a little extra space from Jay Anderson and Garrett Atwell. That's going to open the door big time for Robbie Williams and Brad Larson. They've already picked up at least 5 positions. They are looking to make it 6, even 7 if they can get around the 18 and 4. Now the battle is for position number 5, 18 low, 84 high, 94 high, and now we got a fight. Look, don't look now, but here comes that 94 machine pushed by the 63. It's going to be Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley, your leaders, but Robbie Williams in the 34, Brad Lawson in the 63. They've got a draft going, and they're going to be challenging for the lead any lap now. The 48 of Miracle, the 69 of Dale Smalley fighting with the 34 of Robbie Williams and the 63 of Brad Lawson. They continue to battle hard. They continue to fight on that high side. It is for the battle for position number 2. Could turn the battle for position number 1 if that in 34 and 63 continue to fight as hard as they are. Remember, they came from 10th out of nowhere, from outside the top 10. In 2 laps time, they are battling for position number 2 and some change. That could hurt their engines a little bit, but they don't care. It's called the Sunday Money Series for a reason. Win or go home. Dallas Miracle, Dale Smalley continue to run up front. Michael Churchman third, Gary Bauer fourth, and it looks like the 18 machine of Jay Anderson will be 5th when it's all said and done. Brad Lawson in the 63 and the 34 machine of Robbie Williams. They had to make a tandem switch. They made the tandem switch. It cost them a little bit of time, but now that they're back in line, they are looking for the lead. Once again, behind them, it's the 24 of Alan Larson, the 19 of Ed Peoples. They were running the high line as well, and they are battling with that number 19 machine. That's Jay Anderson. So battle is now continuing for position number 5, and Alan Larson, who always feels strong. Before the race, we were talking to him. He said, I feel strong about tonight. I'm not going to join you guys in the booth. The only time I'll join you is when I'm down from victory lane. And you can see the number 24. He is determined to walk away with that big win tonight. Number 48 of Dallas Miracle continues to lead, but that could change any second if the 63 of Brad Lawson gets the run he needs. 48-63 into turns 3 and 4. The low line still continues to be the dominant place to run here at Talladega Super Speedway. The freight train happens, and the caution flag out once again. Second caution flag for the night as the field starts to check up. Didn't involve this 42 of George Bart involved in that one. In front of him, the 29 machine also involved as well. That's Dylan Ackert. 2 trucks, at least 2 trucks involved. It might be even more. In fact, that incident started before them with the 79 and 15, the 79 of Joel Wood and the 15 of Dominique Dyball. Those cars are going to start this incident, and it will ultimately be a 4-truck incident. You're watching the replay right now. Let's look around. Look at exactly what happens. It looks like the 35 machine just got a little bit out of line out there, and that 35 machine ends up getting into the 15. The 35 belonging to, I believe, Daniel Ingerfeld, but I could be wrong. 35, nope, sorry, Nathan Sedlak in that 35 machine, and that's going to get into the 15 of Dominique Dyball and the 79 of Joel Wood, causing those 2 trucks to spin into the wall. Heavy damage for both those machines. The 79 front end damage, the 15 back end damage, and that caused that second incident involving the 29 and the 42. They just didn't see those trucks in time. 29 spins it hard, goes into the wall. The 42 self spins, but not without collecting some heavy rear end damage for himself. They will need a reset, and before they get back out onto the track. Pit Road getting busy once again, and now your leaders coming down to the attention of their crews. Dallas Miracle coming down, Brad Lawson and company coming down. It'll be Dallas Miracle down. It will be Brad Lawson, Michael Churchwell, Robbie Williams, Gary Bauer, Garrett Atwell coming down this time, Mark Maffitt coming down, Colton Berkey, David Wenk, Don Stevenson all coming down to the attention of their crews. Michael Watkins, Ross Cato, Eric Rodeman looking for some attention. And now here comes the 69 of Dale Smalley. He's going to come down to the attention of his crew as well, looking for some fuel, looking for some gas. He had the benefit of having one of the pit stops at the back, but that's not going to help stop him from trying to get off pit road. The race off pit road will be Dallas Miracle, Michael Churchman behind him, Brad Lawson, Daniel Miller gets off, Robbie Williams, Gary Bauer, and then Dale Smalley. After all of that, Dale Smalley still trying to fight his way through the field and get back up front. All these guys sorted out, let's go ahead and take our first commercial break of the evening. Alan Larson credited as your leader. He will pick up a bonus point. Can he hold on to that lead? We'll find out when we return to LSR TV's live coverage of the Dale Smalley Drywall 101, the season opener for the Championship Online Racing Association. Stay tuned, race fans. We'll be back after this. Alan Larson currently in control of the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 here at Talladega Super Speedway, the opening race for the Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Series. Ed Peoples currently is drafting partner in second. Everett Lane, after that big incident, he's going to be in position number 3. Rex Buchanan, position number 4. And Dallas Miracle rounding out your top 5. Michael Churchman, Brad Lawson, Robbie Williams, Gary Bauer, Dale Smalley, your top 10. Jay Anderson, Mark Maffitt, Garrett Atwell, Don Stevenson, and Colton Berkey, your top 15. David Wenk, Eric Rodeman, Michael Watkins, Travis Brown, Ross Cato rounding out your top 20. Sal Accardi, Ryan Borges, Mark McFadden, Martin Porter, and Nathan Sedlak, your top 25. The rest of the field is as follows: Daniel Lingerfeld, James Wilkins, Michael Johnson, Jason Halverson, Dominique Diebold, Justin Loynes, Joel Wood, George Mark, Jeremy Crandall, all still on the lead lap. Dylan Ackert and Daniel Miller both scored 1 lap down. So this is going to be some very interesting racing when we go back to Green Flag Racing, and I will tell you why. For the first time tonight, some of your drafting partners, some of your tandem partners are broken up. Most notably, you've got Michael Churchma broken up from David Wenk. Dallas Miracle broken up from Dale Smalley. Colton Berkey broken up from his draft partner. And now you're going to see the spotters all make some decisions, all have to make some very questionable arguments to see what they want to do and how they want to move as a result of this race. Alan Larson, Ed Peoples will be in charge of it when we go back to Green Flag Racing. Everett Lane, Rex Buchanan, Dallas Miracle all within the top 5, and Michael Churchma in the 88 truck. He wants some retribution for last season. He's got a very strong truck tonight. He's run top 3 for the first quarter of this race, but it wouldn't surprise me if he wants to get a jump at the start and see if he can improve on that and lead some laps, get those bonus points he needs to help his championship campaign. So the first racing Ford Mustang base car will come down pit road this time by. Alan Larson and Ed Peoples will be the first 2 leading this group on. Pit strategy in play right now as they stayed out last time by, while the rest of your leaders elected for 2 tires and a full tank of fuel. First racing Ford Mustang pace car gets the heck out of the way this time by, making the hard left turn down pit road. The 24 and 19 both in control of this field as they hit the loud pedals. Let's go ahead and take you down trackside. Get those headphones ready. We're gonna crank it up. Trouble on the backstretch on lap 28, where green flag remains out, though, as it only involves 1 truck. That's the 96 of Eric Rodeman. You're seeing the replay now. The 96 of Eric Rodeman gets a little bit of help from the 33 machine. That's David Wenk. The number 33, nowhere to go for him. Or check number 33, Travis Brown, I should say. Travis Brown, nowhere to go for him as the 96 cuts across his nose. The 33 gives him the old pit maneuver, and the 96 almost pits himself a little bit, it looks like. 96 gets heavy into the inside wall, down on the back straightaways. The 96 needs to use a reset, and now there's 3 spinning around. The 3 of James Wilkins, heavy damage for him as well. He's gonna spin around. Looks like got a little help there coming into pit road. No, he spun around earlier. He spun around as a result of contact with a 21 machine coming off pit road. Is that 27? The yellow flag will come out this time by, and it will be around that the incident between the 21 of Jason Halverson and the 3 machine. That 3 machine belonging to James Wilkins. James Wilkins Heavy damage down low. Smoke coming out of the truck. Brings it back up high onto the racing field, and that's going to bring it down low once again. So yellow flag back out on the field, and it looks like we are going to run some more caution laps here at Talladega Superspeedway. Lap 30, third of the way through this race. Alan Larson in control as they collect the pace of the first racing Ford Mustang pace car. Everett Lane second, Dallas Miracle third, Michael Churchma fourth, and Brad Lawson rounding out your top five. No big changes to the field except for Alan Larson lost his draft partner, Ed Peebles. Peebles now in position number 10. Alan Larson in front. And Alan Larson, during that time, was getting a huge push from Everett Lane in the one machine. Now the 24 is going to duck it onto the apron. Nope, he's going to come back on. It wouldn't surprise me if we see these guys make some pit stops as a result of their pit strategy. Pit road is open to those who wish to come down. The 24, will he steer it down? He's on the yellow lines. He's thinking about it. No, Alan Larson will go ahead and stay out. Everett Lane stays out. Dallas Miracle, Michael Churchma, Brad Lawson, all of your top 10 staying out. Top 15 staying out. No, Mark Maffitt, the only one of the top 15 electing to come down pit road. Everybody else, it looks like, all electing to stay out and see and roll the dice a little bit, see what happens as they continue to run under yellow flag. While we have a moment, let's see if we can dial up one of these drivers here in the car. Let's see if we can talk to your leader out here. That's driver of the 24 machine, Alan Larson. Alan, is show in the booth. Got a copy, buddy?
Yes, I do, sir.
Alan, you said you weren't going to join us in the booth because you're going to be down on Victory Lane. Well, so far, you're working pretty well towards that.
Yeah, this Chevrolet Silverado is doing a good job tonight. I just got to keep it clean and keep it going in the right direction. I had a couple of near misses there early in the race, but we're going to try and keep it up here, at least in the contention.
Pit strategy already playing out for you, for your entire team out there. We saw you come down during the first caution flag, stayed out during the second one, and now you and the rest of the field staying out as well. Without giving away your hand, how much is pit strategy playing into your game tonight?
I think it's really going to play a big part because I think I can make it maybe on one more stop and towards the end of the race there, and I'm thinking maybe that'll be the play that wins this thing.
When we restarted this race just a few laps ago, it was you and Ed Peoples on the front row. Now it's going to be you on the front row, your driving partner Ed in the top back, just hanging on to the top 10. How is that going to affect your race as you guys restart?
Yeah, he's definitely disappointed. He got left out to dry there on the outside. He didn't have no help at all, and we were on TeamSpeak together and talking to each other. And he's going to try and work his way back up here to work with me. If not, we'll see how things play out. I might even give up the lead here and drop back and pick him up.
What's going to ultimately at the end of this race? What's going to be the key to victory?
Patience, absolute patience. Just making the right move at the right time.
Alan Larson looking to play the patience game as we should get the one-to-go signal this time by. Alan Larson currently leading the race in the 24 truck. We'll go let you get back to the business of racing. Good luck to you out there, Alan.
Yeah, hey, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
That's Alan Larson, driver of the number 21 machine. Lights stay out, so we will have at least one more parade lap before we go back to green flag racing. Should be around scoring lap 34, so still plenty of racing left to go. Getting lucky dog. He's a 06 of Daniel Miller. He's got his Army Strong Chevrolet back, last car on the lead lap. He'll be scored position number 32. Also several laps down, or at least one lap down, is Dylan Ackert in the 29 machine. Jeremy Crandall in the 92. Eric Rodderman, you saw him in the top 10 earlier. He's now dropped one lap down. And James Wilkins in the 3. As a result of that incident, he will drop 2 laps down on this field. So you see the tandems, you see teamwork strategy playing out right now. And once again, when we come back to this restart, teamwork strategy is is going to still be on the minds of everybody out there. Everett Lane have a dance partner. Dallas Miracle, he was working with Dale Smalley here in the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 at Talladega Super Speedway. Dale Smalley's going to restart 14th, at least 11 positions back from Dallas Miracle. Michael Churchma, he doesn't have a draft partner as well. David Wenck, his draft partner, will restart in position number 13, 10 positions away from Michael Churchma. Brad Lawson gets cooked up with Gary Bauer. Robbie Williams and Jake Anderson, they've done well together. So now we're going to see these guys either one, make some impromptu decisions, make some impromptu drafts with these guys out here on the field, or they're going to have to see them just go back, like Alan said, potentially give up position to get back to their drafting partners and get back to up front. Having a good drafting partner is worth its weight in gold here at Talladega, and having a good drafting partner can make the difference between a good race and a great race. Could mean the difference between a top 10 and a top 5, or dare I say it, even a win. Pace car lights should go off this time around. We should go back to the business of doing business in one more lap. Alan Larson, Everett Lane will be your top starters. They'll be on the front row. When we go back to green flag racing, let's keep an eye on the pace car. Are the lights going to turn off? Yes, they will. We'll be back to racing in one lap. Alan Larson, Everett Lane, your top pair. Dallas Miracle, Michael Churchman behind them. Brian Lawson, Gary Bauer in row number 3. Robbie Williams, Shea Anderson, row number 4. Rex Buchanan, Ed Peebles, your top 5. Your top 5 rows, I should say. So Alan Larson, without any drafting help, will have to figure out what he wants to do, how he wants to navigate this race. Everett Lane needs a drafting partner as well. He doesn't have anybody to help in the W&W Trucking number 1 Silverado out there. Michael Churchman needs to figure out what he wants to do. Dallas Miracle, you have 4 drivers in the top 4 without any drafting help, without any partners on the field. So these guys all going to be looking for a little bit of help in whatever form that might come in. So as we get ready to go through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, tonight's race brought to you by Dale Smalley Drywall, sponsor of the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 here at Talladega Super Speedway. Give them a call if you need drywall done, 336-442-6690. That's Dale Smalley Drywall for the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 here at Talladega Super Speedway. On the front row, Alan Larson, Everett Lane, going to be looking for the Ford first racing Mustang to get out of the way and let these guys get back to green flag racing. Alan Larson, Everett Lane on the front row. Dallas Miracle, Michael Church will have to make some quick decisions. Brad Lawson, Gary Bauer have to make some decisions. Robbie Williams, Jay Anderson, Rex Buchanan, Ed Peebles, your top 10 as the pace car going to go ahead and get out of the way. This time by, it will be the 24, the 1 in the capable hands of this crew, and it's going to be extended one more time. It looks like there was some trouble lining up for some of these guys out here, so they're going to have at least one more parade lap. And these guys going to get them lined up one more time and try to get this around and try to get it worked through. It should only be one parade lap out here on the field as we get ready to go back green flag racing. One more parade lap as they go ahead and extend it, get everybody get lined up to where they need to be and how they need to be. Your race control operators giving these guys last minute instructions on what they need to do and what needs to happen during the restart. So this is it's a regular occurrence. This normally happens when you go green flag racing, when you have some green flag racing going on. These things tend to happen. Race control giving these guys some last minute instructions on how to manage this restart. They're telling your guys, hey, if you're in the back half of this field, go ahead and watch that checking up. That checking up can cause some inadvertent yellows, and what we're trying to prevent tonight in the show is any more yellow flags, any more unnecessary yellow flags, I should say. They're also giving guys instructions on damage control out there on the field. They're also giving guys a little bit of instruction on what to do if you've run out of resets and if you can't stay within the minimum speed on track, what they need to do and how they need to exit the track. So with those instructions in hand, We should only have 66 laps left to go on the field here at Talladega Superspeedway. Alan Larson, Everett Lane will be your top group when we go back. Row number 2 belongs to Dallas Miracle and Michael Churchma, Gary Bauer and Brad Lawson, your top 3. Jarby Williams, Jay Anderson in row number 4. Rex Buchanan, Ed Peoples in row number 5. But still plenty of great driving, plenty of great talent within striking distance. Colton Berkey in position number 12. David Wenck, position number 13. Mr. Three-Time himself, Dale Smalley, position number 14. Don Stevenson, Michael Watkins, both restarting within the top 15. And then there's Mark McFadden, Sal Accardi, regulars here at in the CORA Sunday Money Series. They will both restart within the top 20. Alan Larson, Everett Lane will have the control of this field as the pace car makes its way down pit road. It will be Alan Larson, Everett Lane, and we're back to green flag racing. As soon as they drop the flag, they'll drop the hammer. Green flag flies, and it looks like it's going to be Alan Larson getting the big jump. He will cross the line first to finish lap 34. We are now scoring lap 35. 66 left to go here at Talladega. And it looks like they're going to throw the caution flag at least one more time here. And I'm not exactly sure where the confusion is for these drivers. They're drawing the caution flag again and getting these guys lined up once more. Looks like there might be some more confusion as to where they're going. 42 machine, it looks like he's smoking pretty mad out there. That's George Mark, and that could be part of the reason why they decided to go ahead and throw the caution now. That 42 machine, heavy smoke coming from it. The rear end punched in on the 42. Not exactly sure what happened to that car or truck outside of the regular damage it already had, and the engine just might have decided to go on it. And that's going to bring out another caution flag. Let's go ahead and check the replay real quick. We're in here getting ready to restart. And it looks like the 42 machine, as soon as he hits that pedal, it looks like he got loose out there. No, on the restart, the 42 machine just got checked up. The 92, the 10, the 32 all got checked up at the back of the field. The 96 punts the 42. 42 makes contact with the 33 machine. That 33 belonging to Travis Brown, and that's what's going to cause the 42 to have heavy smoke and bring out the caution flag once again. So lots of nerves going down on track right now as these guys get it sorted out, get it figured out. Let's go ahead and take our another commercial break. You are watching live coverage of the Dale Smalley 101 live from Talladega. Dale Smalley Drywall 101 live from Talladega, the opening race of the CORA Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Series number 4. Stay tuned, race fans. We'll be back with more racing action after this. 2 to green here at Talladega Super Speedway of the Dale Smalley Drywall 101, the season opener for season number 4 of Championship Online Racing Association, live on LSR TV. And the interns just handed me some stats really that kind of put the race together for me. Tonight's race, we've only run 38 laps. 16 of those have been across 4 cautions that have been run here at Talladega Super Speedway. 5 lead changes. Right now, the beneficiary of those lead changes, Alan Larson in the 24 machine, continuing to lead these parade laps. When we talked to him earlier, we heard him here say that he was happy with where he was, the truck was running good, and he had the potential to only have 1 stop in tonight's race. If that's the case, Alan Larson could be looking at a big win and a big start to the 2014 season number 4 campaign. Everett Lane in second, Dallas Miracle third, Michael Churchman fourth, Gary Bauer fifth, Brad Lawson sixth, Robbie Williams, Jake Anderson, Ed Peebles, Rex Buchanan, our top 10 after that botched restart we had just a few laps ago. When we go back to Green Flag Racing, we'll be scoring lap number 40. It'll be 62 laps left to go here at Talladega Super Speedway. So still plenty of time for anybody to take away this race. Alan Larson wants it, but you can't win it on lap number 40. You got to win it on lap 101 here in the Dale Smalley Drywall 101. Lots of companies coming together to make this season run, to make the CORA Championship Online Racing Association what it is. Among them, Dale Smalley Drywall sponsoring tonight's race, the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 to open the season, the CORA racing season here in 2014. Hurley Property Maintenance, a longtime sponsor of CORA Racing. I'm sure we'll have their name on one of these races here pretty soon. Small Town Computers, bringing you a lot of the computers and the computing equipment that you see in tonight's race. And Berkey Painting, one of the core sponsors here at the Championship Online Racing Association. It really does take a village to make these seasons run and to make everything work. A lot of unpaid volunteers, a lot of volunteers who don't get enough thanks, and a lot of drivers who come in, week out, looking to qualify for the race, looking to make it in that top 12, to show up here every Sunday night. Lots of time, lots of dedication. Like I said, it really takes a village to manage a situation like this, a simulation like this, and a league like this, and you see that village come together every Sunday night here on LSR TV with the Championship Online Racing Association. They double up this time, 3/4 of a lap left to go. Alan Larson leads him around on the 2.67 parade route. There's 2.67 mile parade route, I should say. Everett Lane on the outside of him. Dallas Miracle, Michael Churchman, positions number 3 and 4. Gary Bauer, Brad Lawson, row number 3. It'll be Robbie Williams, Jay Anderson in 7th and 8th. Ed Peebles and Rex Buchanan rounding out your top 10. On the backstretch, they're going to go, and they're going to try to make this work. Alan Larson, Everett Lane, your top 2 drivers. Dallas Miracle, Michael Churchma, row number 2 behind them. And joining me now in the broadcast booth, a little bit late, I think his flight was delayed, coming down here to Talladega, Evan Pisoko. Evan, better late than never. So glad you're in the booth with us tonight, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. I guess there was a lot of traffic, or we got lost somewhere in the infield, but I know there's a couple laps off the board, and these guys are getting ready to come back to the green flag here, so I'm going to climb up, get myself plugged in, and it'll be a good finish.
It'll be a very good finish, and you climbed in right at the right time. We will be scoring lap number 40 when we come back to Green Flag Racing in just a moment's time. Pace car has the lights off. It'll be the pace car coming down to pit road, getting the heck out of the way. Alan Larson, Everett Lane in control of this field, hoping for a better restart than they had just a moment ago. The pace car gets the heck out of the way. Now through the long trial will they go. Alan Larson, Everett Lane, your top 2 as they get ready to go. Green Flag Racing. Flagman watches these 2 lanes of parade trucks go through. They hit the green flag flies, and it looks like we already might have some trouble brewing around the 06 machine. 06 makes it 3 wide, and it looks like they're going to finally get a clean restart. We are back to Green Flag Racing on lap number 40. Alan Larson in the 24 machine, now immediately under fire. Evan, you know how hard 2-line racing can be at Talladega. Can he hold on?
It's going to be, and again, that's one thing about Talladega, is being in front You got a big target on your back, and the way that this draft works, it's real hard to stay up there the way that these cars shuffle out, and especially when you're too wide throughout the pack, you really got to hold your breath and not make any mistakes.
Gotta hold your breath, not make any mistakes, and just let everything happen around you. Alan Larson, Dallas Miracle, Everett Lane, Gary Bauer, Michael Churchma, your top 5. Now the battles for position number 6 between the 63 of Brad Lawson and Jay Anderson. Anderson's been perennially in that top group, and now you see him working with the 19 machine. And that 19 belongs to Ed Peebles. Ed Peebles trying to get to the aid of his drafting partner. They work around the 88 of Churchma very quickly, and now up front, it's a battle of giants for the lead. Alan Larson up front, the 48 Dallas Miracle immediately on his side. 2 by 2, they go off turns 3 and 4 and into the front. Now onto the backstretch.
Definitely Alan Larson, very strong at Talladega, showing it there up at the front of the field. Again, he's got to keep an eye on those guys around him. And one thing that really helps at Dega is you need a drafting partner and a friend. And when it comes down to this thing in those closing laps, you can't really trust anybody. So you got to have a bunch of guys around you that you know that you can feel a little bit more comfortable in this draft for sure up there at the front of the pack.
Trust is a 5-letter word when it comes to super speedway driving. Trust only goes as far as the position in front of you right now. Alan Larson trusting nobody but his own drafting partner. His drafting partner only 2 trucks away from him as the 24 and 48 continue to test each other. Driving side by side, Alan Larson continues to have the advantage. Everett Lane, you see him rocking back and forth on the bumper of the 24 of Alan Larson, trying to get clean air into that machine to make sure he doesn't make the same mistake and end up blowing up that engine as well. Side by side, they continue to run. And on the top group, and now in the right behind him, the 88 Michael Churchma in that group right now. The 19 of Ed Peebles giving him the push, and the 18 nowhere to go for him. Jay Anderson maybe without a dance partner very, very quickly.
He's out there on the top lane. It's a couple car lengths back to the other guys on that top lane, and they're hooked up and coming in a hurry behind him. It looks like that they're going to try to look to the high side, and Trey Anderson trying to encourage that 4 machine of Garrett Atwell to get with him. Atwell is going to get up to the back bumper, and he's not going to step out quite yet. He's been working with the 69 of Dale Smalley, and now Gary Bauer is going to drop back on this high lane, and now Jay Anderson going to get with him down the backstretch. Meanwhile, that whole inside lane is all single file, except for the front 3 guys in that row. They're all bumper to bumper up front. Everybody else got about a truck length in between each other.
Dallas Miracle, Gary Bauer, your top continue to run first and second. Miracle now in front of Alan Larson. Now Alan Larson are all over the back bumper of the 48 machine. Miracle will not give up the lead, but guess what? Alan Larson isn't going to give up his shot at victory. He's not going to give up his shot at a $50 payday tonight here at Talladega. So Dallas Miracle now getting the push from Alan Larson. Everett Lane, 3rd, Franklin Church 4th. Ed Peebles rounding out your top 5. Brad Lawson, Robbie Williams, Gary Bauer, Jay Anderson, Michael Watkins, your top 10. It looks like the field's calmed down just a little bit. You see a lot more guys running that low line. The first battle for position right now is with the number 18 or 19 of Ed Peebles, the number 27 machine. That belongs to Gary Bauer and Jay Anderson. They're going to continue to run the high line, but nobody else really running it right now, with the exception of the 4 and the 69. But they're battling for position number 10 out there. The engine blows up. We got a car that's got a truck blown up. That's going to be a 3-4 of Robbie Williams. The engine goes on that machine. He is out. He is done. He finds his way down to pit road, I should say. Robbie Williams able to save it. No major incident on the track, but he's going to need some help to get back on track.
And he saw that thing blinking and got off the back bumper to the 63 at the corner. It blew up. He got a shot from the 36. They all went 3 wide to get out of the way. And taking a look at the replay right there, he was pretty lucky that happened, and he was able to get down to pit lane, as opposed to that happening maybe in the middle of the corner. A close call, but good job by everybody to get around that. The race is on up front. The number 1 machine of Everett Lane has help with the 88 of Michael Churchma on the top side. They are trying to get around Miracle and Larson on that bottom lane, and now the 27 is going to make an aggressive move to the top. That was Gary Bauer. Him and Anderson thought about making it 3 wide, however they got disconnected when they made that movement to get up to the top lane, so they're going to go side by side now. They're going to have to get back hooked up. Meanwhile, back up front that time by, it was Everett Lane leading by the stripe.
Now here comes the number 4 machine. That's Garrett Atwell getting the push from Dale Smalley in the 69. They're broken into the top 10, and they are looking for some more positions. Remember, Smalley started on the pole here at the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 at Talladega Super Speedway, so you know he wants to finish it on the pole and get championship number 4 started in the right way. We should really call this opening week we've had Evan Champions Week, because every night, every race we've run here on LSR TV, the last season's champion aggressively attacking his championship, and tonight Dale Smalley, no stranger, no exception, as he continues to fight to start championship number 4 on the right foot.
Yeah, we've seen that in like the last 2 broadcasts here this previous week, so that was their New Year's resolution to come in with a bang, and they're doing it right now, and then you're seeing those guys up front doing that exact same thing. Leading the outside lane right now in P4 is the driver of the 4, that's Garrett Atwell. Atwell has help from the 69 machine of Dale Smalley. Smalley always fast, and they're working on that top lane here down the back straightaway, trying to make some headway on those guys on the inside. They made up ground down the back, and a little bit of a wiggle by the 4 is going to disconnect them on the top lane. So right now, Dallas Miracle still with the advantage, coming through and off corner number 4, but don't count out Atwell and Smalley on the top lane, as they are back hooked up, and they're coming on the front here to the tri-oval.
The number 4 of Garrett Atwell getting the shot from the 69 to Dale Smalley. If you can get a fast tandem on the high side, you can very, very easily find your way up front. And these 2 drivers doing that just right now. They are catching up to caught up to the number 1 machine of Everett Lane. And Everett Lane doing whatever he can to keep that truck fast and keep the number 4 and the 69 in his rearview mirror. Now behind that high line, you have the 18 machine. That's Jake Anderson getting the push from the 27 of Gary Bauer on the low side. The number 8 of Martin Porter's back in the top 10. Rex Buchanan in the top 10 now. And Ed Peoples, who was drafting so well, tandeming so well with the 24 of Alan Larson, nowhere to be found. The number 19 of Ed Peoples just outside the top 10. Brad Lawson, George Bart, Daniel Miller now on the top 15 as well. Still plenty of drivers that can walk away with this race. It's really not it's less about talent at Talladega and more about position and being in the right place at the right time. Miracle and Larson taking away this field. Everett Lane and Garrett Atwell have hooked up. Dale Smalley needs a friend out there, and nobody wants to help Mr. 3-Feet.
Yeah, the car behind him is going to be the 18 of Jay Anderson. Anderson dropping back, looking like to get with the 27 of Bauer, maybe down the backstretch. So that leaves Smalley without anybody, and Smalley can't really dive down to the inside lane because he's side by side with the 43 of Rex Buchanan there, and then the 8 machines there as well. That's Martin Porter. So Dale Smalley, you see, kind of went down in the corner to try to get some side draft, but coming off forward, he's got to move up, and he's kind of trapped on that outside lane. Let's see what Anderson is going to do. Anderson, they look to the high side with help from the 27 of Bauer. Do they pick up Smalley here in the middle lane, or do they look to hang him up to dry? Jay Anderson is thinking about it, and he's going to get on the back bumper of Dale Smalley. So this could leave now the 27 of Bauer out to dry if these guys can get hooked up and get going this time out of 2.
Almost a caution at the back of the field involving the 35 of Nathan Sedlak. He avoids trouble, but that's going to cost him a lot of positions, and he will be at the very tail end of this field. Meanwhile, back up front, we have a new leader for lead change number 7 of the night. Everett Lane with the push from Garrett Atwell. He will take away position number 1. Now the 48-4. 4 gets high. 4 gets in the wall. 4 needs to save it. Oh, Alan Larson gets loose. Larson goes high, and now we got a bunch of drivers behind him checking up. Dale Smalley into the wall. The 18 machine into the wall. The 24 gets turned into the wall. The 24 of Alan Larson. Heavy damage, and now trucks swinging in front of them. The 63, the 78 both getting involved. Major trouble on the front stretch.
And they all piled him in, and the yellow flag is going to fly, and that was madness. That whole trip down the front straightaway after trouble at the front of the field where Alan Larson was getting caught up in that as well. He was running strong up at the front of the field, and they just got into a little bit of contact there up front, and I was just about to mention that this has really turned into a big pack again. Everyone's grouped up, and it was a checkup in the front. 4 machine got shot out. Alan Larson getting into the back of Miracle. He was slow. Dale Smalley tried to go high. Larson gets into Smalley, and Larson ride the wall, and then they pile him in there. The 63, the 78 machine. Everybody stacks on in. Dale Smalley around, and a big mess in turn number 1 after panic on the front straightaway. Dale Smalley went up and over several times in that 69 machine. So the big one strikes at Talladega around lap number 50 and under the yellow flag, and a lot of fast race cars were torn up in that one.
A lot of fast race cars going to be looking for the benefit of that reset that they get here on Sunday night. And, and a lot of them are also revolving around that second incident where the 63 of Brad Lawson gets into the 30 machine of Ross Cato. The 30 also collecting the 31 machine and the 87. The 81 of Colton Berkey and the 27 of Gary Bauer. Both those trucks going to go around, and that's what's going to bring all of these trucks to a standstill here, including barrel rolling the 69 of the three-time champion Dale Smalley, and it looks like the 32 machine as well, at 32 of Ryan Borges, getting a lot of damage as well. All those drivers going to need that reset they get here each and every week. But right now, let's check on pit road, see who's going to come down this time by. Pit road is open. Everett Lane doesn't elect you. Dallas Miracle, despite the damage, he is going to come down this time by. Rex Buchanan does not come down. Martin Porter doesn't come down. Mark McFadden stays out. George Bark stays out. Michael Churchma going in. The 19 of Ed Peoples going in. Gary Bauer going in. Salacardi going to come down pit road. David Wenk coming down. Daniel Lingerfeld. Michael Watkins. Garrett Atwell. Don Stevenson. Jason Halverson. All elected to come down to pit road. And right now, pit road, a very busy place of the drivers. It looks almost like the island of misfit toys. There's so much bent up sheet metal and bent up trucks out there. They're going to need a lot of hammers to fix that.
Yeah, definitely. A whole bunch of those cars are coming down because the sheet metal is torn up. So if those guys were fortunate enough to not get turned around and into the wall in that incident, they definitely, they got banged up, and the sledgehammers are out on pit road trying to get those puppies fixed. And again, at Talladega, a track that is so aerodynamically critical, you don't want to have that damage. So they want to come down and get fixed what they can, because there is still a long way to go in this race. Just under 50 laps at Talladega. The track, 2.66 miles, a lot of racing to go. A lot can still happen, so you don't even need to have a back bumper on your race car to win at Talladega, but definitely you want to have a little bit of a performance advantage over the other drivers that are damaged. So they're going to come down, get those things fixed as best as they can, and try to get back out there and try to work back through the field. But that was just a big mess on the front straightaway, and they did a good job of making it as far as they did before they stacked it, and they were 4 or 5 wide there through the trial along the apron in the wall, trying to hang on to it, and evidently they just ran out of room. And that's what happens when there's trouble up at the front of the pack. You mentioned once we went back to the green flag, maybe a little bit more calm, not as much racing, a lot of hard racing as we'd seen earlier on in this race. And then right before that incident, I noticed everybody was grouping back up too wide throughout the entire pack, and except for those leaders, when you're too wide and then that thing happens right in front of you, you just don't have any time to get out of the way, and that's why everybody pretty much got caught up in that thing, because that was right at the front of the field and kind of trapped the rest of the pack behind them.
Oh, we have a moment. Let's see if we can talk to the driver currently in second behind Everett Lane, Rex Buchanan, driver of the number 43 machine. Let's see if we can dial him in on the in-truck radio. Rex, it's Joe in the booth. Got a copy, buddy? Rex Buchanan, Joe Cortez in the LSR TV booth. You got a copy, buddy? We are not getting Rex Buchanan right now. Looks like he has got his radio dialed to a different frequency. We'll see if we can grab him here in just a moment, Evan.
And definitely he is running right now in second place in the 43 machine. Good job. He started in 14th, so he's made his amount of headway to this point in the race. So running P2 right now. Maybe he's going to try to work with Everett Lane, or maybe Martin Faden behind him in a 90 on the restart. Could try to get hooked up with him. Joe, we're going to give him another shot.
I think we got his frequency fixed real quick. Let's see if we can try it one more time. Rex, Joe in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir.
There we go. I think just a matter of a wrong frequency there, but glad we got it sorted out. You are currently sitting in second behind teammate Everett Lane. And for the lead, that's got to be a good feeling, especially after all that melee just a moment ago.
Yeah, that was quite a little mishap there. I just barely made it through with my other partner behind me, Martin.
So you've got 3 fast lane drivers now currently running first, second, and third. It's gonna be, if this could be a potentially great finish for you and your team, what's it gonna take to make it work?
Well, we've got a plan. We're working together. We know that we can take the outside line if we have to. The inside line, we pick them off one at a time, and here we are.
Now, we saw a couple of your guys come down pit road earlier. You guys did not elect to come down pit road this time by. without giving away your hand, where's your pit strategy at right now? And are we looking at being able to potentially finish this race, or are we gambling on another yellow flag?
Well, I know that I am going to have to pit, and I know that a couple of my other teammates are going to have to pit, and we're just going to work it out, and we're going to work our way back to the front. And it's going to be fast lane all the way. And I'd like to thank my sponsor, LaSalle Raceways, and I'd like to thank CORA.
That's Rex Buchanan, currently sitting position number 2. Lights should go off this time by. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing on lap 56. Rex Buchanan currently sitting second. Fast lane first, second, third. Could it be a fast lane finish? We'll find out. Rex, good talking to you. Good luck to you on the track, buddy.
Thank you, man. You guys have a good day.
That is Rex Larson, driver of the number 43 truck. He will restart in position number 2 as we get ready to go back to green flag racing in just one more lap, Evan.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody's going to get grouped up here as continue to work under the caution flag, and there goes the lights up atop of the Ford First Racing. A lot of cars on the lead lap, scoring 29 of them right now, still on the lead lap. Some of those guys obviously with some damage, but for the amount of incidents that we've seen so far, everybody's been doing a good job of hanging in there in the pit crews, working real hard on the pit lane to keep these trucks on track and continue to put on a show here to Asian Sunday Money Series, again at Talladega Super Speedway. A very classic combination of trucks and Dega, and it's always a fun one to watch.
A classic combination for a number of reasons. These things are always a lot of fun to watch here at Talladega. They're got a little bit different center of gravity, which means you can do different things with these things than you could with the Nationwide cars or the Gen 6 cars. So a lot of different racing, a lot more almost nimble racing, I want to say, with these trucks than you can get out of any other machine. Plus, with these trucks, you see a lot of tandem racing, but those tandems aren't limited to just 2 trucks. It's not surprising to see 3 or 4 guys hook up and get ready to start moving through the field. And when that happens, you really have a great race on your hands. Plus, with these trucks being so wide and taking up so much of the track, real estate is a premium. In the Nationwide cars, in the Gen 6 cars, you can almost go 4 wide here at Talladega. With these trucks, 3 wide is pushing it at best.
Well, you can go 4 wide, but the question is, can you hold it? There's definitely enough room if you're parked and maybe you're going under the pace lap, but when you're going 200 miles an hour in this draft and that car's swaying back and forth and the wind's pushing you and the draft is messing with your car, it's a very hard thing to do. So the Ford First Racing Mustang pace car up at the front of the field is coming by this time and dives down to the safety of pit lane, and the field is going to go in the hands of Everett Lane at the number 1 machine, sitting P1 right now, waiting for the flagman to drop the green flag as the field works through the tri-oval. They bunch up behind Lane, and he is off the green flag back out at Talladega Super Speedway. And we are on lap number 56 as the field comes through, and Lane got a huge jump. He has taken off from this pack. The 43 of Rex Buchanan is going to pull down in line behind him with Mark McFadden, and the 90 machine is going to get on his back bumper through 1 and 2.
Looks like a couple guys out there spinning those tires as they go back to green flag racing here on lap 56. We're running out of time in the season opener for CORA. Rex Buchanan and Mark McFadden running first and second. Martin Porter now in third, Martin Porter now fourth. And it looks like George Bark wants to make some moves. He's got no one to work with, though. Joel Wood now in the top 10 for the first time tonight. And here comes the 88 of Michael Churchma. He's got some new wind in his sails. With the leaders way buried in the back, he might be making some moves. Now the number 1 of Everett Lane's going to come down pit road. Unscheduled stop for the number 1. They're going to lose position in a big way. And it looks like he's going to be joined on pit road by another truck. It's going to be the 43 of Rex Buchanan. Rex Buchanan, Everett Lane. Unscheduled stop for those 2 drivers, and that might take a little bit of their strategy off the table.
That was very interesting. They both came down and gave up P1 and 2 to come down to the pit lane to service their race cars. Taking a look, and I do believe it may have been a black flag on Everett Lane because he's in his stall, and it looks like he's just going to take gas, and 43 Buchanan is going to take 2 right side tires. So normally if it was a scheduled stop, they'd be in agreement on what their tire strategy was going to be. So a very strange incident, definitely, for the number 1 and 43 machines. They're going to go from P1 and 2 all the way back to just about outside of the top 30. Meanwhile, the pack is now working through the tri-oval here and coming to take the stripe, and it's going to be at the lead is the 90 machine of Mark McFadden on that inside line. But how about the 79 of Joel Wood? Joel Wood has help with Michael Churchma on the top lane there, trying to make it work there. And also the 39 Salacardi creeping into the picture with help from Gary Bauer also.
Another truck that might be in trouble is the 42. The administrator just getting on the radio and telling the 42 of George Bark he switched lanes way before the start-finish line, so they're going to might be black flagging him here in just a lamp's time. We'll have to keep an eye on him and see if he goes down to service his truck. Meanwhile, the number 88 of Michael Churchma gets shoved out of line by the 42 machine. Churchma makes contact with the wall going through turns 3 and 4. Then back up front, Mark McFadden continues to lead. Martin Porter second. Joel Wood wants to stay in third, but nowhere to go for him. George Bark's going to take that position away. George Bark not taking his penalty yet. He might not have a yellow black flag, but I thought I heard that he might have.
I do believe that he does have a black flag, and it looked like that he might have made an attempt to get there this last time around, but Salacardi in the 39 machine was on his inside, and maybe they're hoping to go the maximum of 3 laps that they can and plead their case to the officials possibly, because, I mean, they had the opportunity right there with his drafting partner, the 06 of Daniel Miller. They had the chance to stay on this inside right here, and then George Bark could come down the pit lane in the number 42 machine this time around, but they're going to go to the top and try to battle. Maybe he wants that bonus point, and then he's going to come down and serve that black flag. They have the advantage on the top lane through the tri-oval, trying to hang on to it, and it is going to be the 42 of George Bark's going to get that bonus point for leading the lap. Solid performance. He started up inside of the top 10 and has now gone to P1, but the laps are taken away, and I don't see anything that is showing me that the black flag has been cleared, so the 42 is on a deadline to get down to the pit lane.
Time running out for the 42 as he's been officially black flagged in the iRacing sim. Now George Bark is going to come down to the low line, so he's got at least one more time around to collect that black flag and go ahead and get it. I think we're telling everyone on the radio he's going to come down this time by. Let's keep an eye on the 42 of George Bark as he ducks it down. Yep, George Bark will go ahead and come down and serve his black flag this time by, scattering the field a little bit behind him, but nothing that anybody can't save. Back up front, it will be the number 06 of Daniel Miller, the Army Chevrolet. He will take position number 1 away. Mark McFadden, position number 2. And now it's 3 wide. The turns 3 and 4 around the 53 machine, the 39, the 19, the 53, and the 27. All 3 wide through turns 1 and 2 into the backstretch.
You had the 27 of Bauer on the top lane with help from Dallas Miracle. They're going to go by and make that pass. So I do believe it is the 53 machine. That is the 53 of Daniel Lingerfeld that's going to drop back through the middle and now going to pull back up and resume what is now the top lane, trying to get a little bit of draft of the back bumper to that tandem in front of him, trying to, mimic the line of the 48 of Miracle, but he is dropping back and no relief in immediate sight for him, so he's going to lose a lot of spots, and he's going to go from the front of this lane all the way to well outside of the top 15. Right about there, he's actually going to drop back to, it is 11th at this point. And he looks like maybe some help's coming on the top lane. 33 of Travis Brown and the 18 of Jay Anderson are coming up. They're going to go to the top lane, though, and leave him out to dry in the middle again.
Mark McFadden, who was running in the top 3, elected to go down pit road this last time by. Now Jay Anderson looks like he's in trouble in the 18 machine. Jay Anderson spinning around. 32 machine spinning around. 2 trucks involved. Maybe 3 trucks involved in that incident. Yes, the 28 also involved as well. That's still an Ackert. The 29 machine involved in that incident as well. 3 truck incident coming through turns 1 and 2. No caution, though. The 29, the 18, the 50, the 63, several cars involved, including the 24 of Alan Larson.
Anderson was going up with Travis Brown, and the 53 machine was trying to, try to block. That was Daniel Lingerfeld. It was going back on the inside, and they went to the top, and he clipped the wall, and now race officials going to throw the caution for that incident, but Jay Anderson tried to hang on to it, got hit in the back end, went into the outside wall, came across, and evidently took out the 29 machine. The 32 machine went around as well. So again, the caution flag not being thrown by the sim because they wrecked in that big paved area down the back straightaway, which is not on the racing surface, but evidently the CORA officials are going to throw the caution flag, so we're going to slow them down, group them back up, and in regards to that restart, we've seen some drivers get black flagged from that, so now these guys are going to be even more antsy on this restart, where if there's a checkup, they can't really go and change lanes. They're just going to try to hold true to their lane and, hope that the CORA officials give them the green light on it.
6 trucks involved in that incident, including the 24 of Alan Larson, the number 04 of Dustin Loins, the number 78 of Michael Johnson involved in that incident. Dylan Ackert, the 29, the 18 of Jay Anderson, the 32 of Ryan Borges, all getting involved in that incident. And for some of those guys, that is their second incident, which means they are, I believe, they only have 2 resets in this series. And if they have used both those resets, it is SOL for the rest of the race.
And definitely, and the laps starting to slowly wind down at Talladega. Again, 101 laps on the board initially right now. Working under the yellow flag, race leader Gary Bauer in the 27 is working lap number 64. So we're on the downhill slope of things for sure, and the intensity going to pick up as those laps continue to tick down and going on in this race, but still a lot of time. Now, you look at the race overall, 101 laps, this is maybe the time where if you've been hanging out at the back of the pack, or you got a penalty, or you had trouble for a guy, maybe Dale Smalley, the 69, finds himself in 19th, or George Bark in the 42 just got black flagged after running up front, sitting 25th. This is the opportunity now where you're going to have to start moving to the front, because you can't really bank on a long green flag runner, and I know that's where you're going to make most of your time up. Maybe you squeak through a wreck or so, but you really need to find a partner right now if you're outside of the top 20 and start to make some serious headway, as pretty much a whole bunch of the leaders, almost the entire field, is coming down the pit lane here to service their race cars.
Should be the last pit stop of the night. Dallas Miracle in his pit stall. Gary Bauer in his pit stall. Gary Bauer gas only. Dallas Miracle gas only as well. Mark Maffitt getting to take gas only. Michael Churchman electing for 2 tires. The 20 of David Wenk only taking gas. And a lot of drivers now coming off only taking gas, including Daniel Miller, Jay Anderson getting a reset on his truck, and he's backing down and away. Martin Porter down and away after gas only. Garrett Atwell, Colton Berkey, Ross Cato, Dale Smalley coming down to the attention of his crew. Michael Johnson, Michael Churchma losing a lot of time as he elected to take 2 tires there, but those 2 tires might be a big advantage for him as he gets ready to go back to green flag racing at what could be our final pit stop of the evening. Let's go ahead and take a commercial break real quick. You are watching LSR TV's live coverage of the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 live from Talladega Superspeedway to open up the CORA's 4th season here on LSR TV. Stay tuned, race fans. We'll be back with more racing action when we return. Currently scoring lap 66. When we get back to Green Flag Racing, over 2/3 of the way done here with the Championship Online Racing Association Sunday Money Series. It's a Dale Smalley Drywall 101, and right now it's Sal Accardi in control of this field. Ed Peoples behind him, Michael Watkins, Eric Rodeman, Jason Halverson, your top five, and then it's Gary Maurer, Dallas Miracle, Mark Maffitt, David Wink, Daniel Miller rounding out your top 10 on this field. Garrett Atwell 11th, Colton Berkey 12th, Dale Smalley, your three-time champion, in 15th. Michael Churchma, one of your runners-up from last season, 16th. Don Stevenson, 18th. Joel Wood, 19th. Mark McFadden in 21st. George Mark, who ran at least one lap up front, 22nd. Everett Lane, who was leading laps with Rex Buchanan, 23rd and 24th, respectively. Alan Larson, one lap down now. Jay Anderson, one lap down. So everything that we thought we knew just a couple laps ago, after another incident, has been thrown out the window, and now it's every driver for themselves.
That's the beauty of Talladega, is you can never predict something. You can take a look at the race one lap and you're like, all right, I know how this is going to play out, and we know the guys that are going to be up front. Obviously, they're just so good at this track and they're very consistent. But then again, you wait a lap, you know, a wreck happens, you come down the pit lane, everything shuffles up again, and next thing we know, again, everything is thrown out the window, exactly how you said it, and it really throws a curveball into the race, and it keeps it exciting for us, keeps us on our toes. Again, you talked about the defending champions doing very good this past week on LSR TV. Dale Smalley, 69, he's sitting 14th, he was 20th, so he's starting to move his way forward, and it looks like he's got a buddy with him, Colton Berkey, the 81, right in front of him. We're going to see if they work together. You touched on George Barker, the 42. He led that lap, had to come down for the black flag after being penalized on the restart. He's sitting 21st, and now he has a buddy in the 33 machine. That's Travis Brown, not too far from him also. So still a lot of racing to go and a lot of storylines continuing to develop. They should be good on fuel. Actually, they should be good by at least 5 laps. So we do believe that they've made their final pit stops, unless we see an incident maybe and everybody comes down to top off, maybe get some tires or damage repair. But other than that, don't think these guys are going to want to be hitting the pit lane if they can keep it clean and green as the field continues to pace through 3 and 4. It's going to be Sal Accardi in the 39 machine going to be in control of this field for the restart.
Sal Accardi getting a little TV time for his sponsors and picking up bonus points to enhance his 2014 Season 4 campaign. So now a lot of drivers all looking to dethrone the king. Sal Accardi, Ed Peoples will lead this race as the first racing Ford Mustang base car gets the heck out of the way. Sal Accardi, Ed Peoples in front. Michael Watkins, Eric Rodeman, Jason Halverson, Gary Bauer, Dallas Miracle, Mark Maffitt, David Wank, all hitting the loud pedal simultaneously. And we're back to Green Flag Racing. Accardi Peoples, the Peoples champion on the high side, the Sal Accardi on the low side. It's a drag race, and it looks like they continue to drag through turns 1 and 2.
They're going to go side by side. It looks like the 19 of Peoples, there he is. He's going to drop down to the inside lane now and get behind Sal Accardi, and they would like to get hooked up and set sail here at the front of the field, but there's a lot of fast cars behind him. The next tandem is the 36 of Michael Watkins, having help from the 96 of Eric Rodeman. They are a couple, maybe 2 1/10ths back from these guys, and then it's 2 wide from there on back with Gary Bauer on the top lane with help from Mark Moffitt, and then the 21 machine of Jason Halverson with help from the 48 of Miracle with a great run through 3 and 4.
The only trucks caution back all on the field once again, and it looks like this time it's going to revolve around 2 trucks out there, the 24 of Alan Larson and the 92 of Jeremy Crandall. Both those trucks get involved with each other, heavy damage, and that should end their night. All starts with the 18 machine of Jay Anderson. He gets right in the mix of it once again, and those 2 trucks, they might be done. Their hopes for $50 and the points lead, it might have just gone away.
Something happened with the 24 machine of Alan Larson coming through. It looks like it was turn 3. Tried to get down in behind the 3 machine and went down way too fast and got sideways. 8 avoided him, and he was sideways, came back up. Anderson into the wall to avoid it. 92 got a piece of it, and then Larson was going on the apron, would have been fine, and 92 came back up, took him out again, and a race that was looking so good for Alan Larson, and he loves this racetrack, has just gone downhill in this second half of the race so far, and involved in another incident. The caution flag going to fly once again at Talladega.
Alan Larson using his third and final reset to get a brand new truck out there on the field, but Alan Larson still one lap down and not able to get the lucky dog. Ryan Borges still tracking hard. The number 92 of Jeremy Crandall, he's still trying to figure out how to get that truck down to pit road and see if he can salvage his night. He was one of the last trucks on the lead lap. If he can't get down to pit road before the leaders come by, he'll be one lap down and he will not be able to get that lucky dog. Jeremy Crandall, you see him crab walking hard on the track. That 92 machine needs a lot of help and needs it in a hurry.
Yeah, definitely he's got to get down and try to get the thing fixed. But definitely a lot of damage on that machine for sure. So under the yellow flag again, and cautions breed cautions is a saying that you always tend to hear when we make the trip out to Talladega. And I mean, it's very true. As he's coming down the pit lane right now, and he's having trouble keeping it on the pit lane in the 92 machine. He's riding the grass. He took out the cone, and it's going to be interesting to see if the 92 can make it to his pit stall, as that thing is torn up. He's almost a hazard, and he's going to make it into the stall. So a good piece of driving by the 92 machine because of Jeremy Crandall. He's in his pit stall, but that thing's going to be that's going to have a lot of issues under that machine.
While we have a moment, let's see if we can talk to the man currently sitting on top of this field, on top of the world. He is driving the number 39 truck. That is Sal Accardi. Let's see if we can grab him for the in-car interview. Hey, Sal, it's Joe in the booth. You got a copy, buddy? Wrong frequency. Roll over TeamSpeak, buddy.
Okay, you got me now?
We got you now. A little bit of confusion on the frequencies. Must have handed the wrong we must have had the wrong info sheet out before the race. Sal, you are on top of the world right now, finding your way through these incidents. You are currently sitting position number 1. Now, the question is, can you hold it for the next 30 laps?
Well, we got a fast truck, just kind of on a little different pit strategy here. We might have to stop for fuel. I'm kind of debating right now. I think we should do it now. So we're going to have to probably give up the lead here.
Fuel has been the big question for each of these drivers out here. How have you guys mitigated your pit stops so far? Actually, you know, we'll let you concentrate on your pit stop. We'll come back to you in just a moment. That's Sal Accardi coming down to pit road. We'll let him focus on that. We'll come back to him in just a second. So kind of unplanned, but that is the nature of live television, ain't it, Evan?
Yeah, he's going to come down in the 39 machine, maybe just looking for a little bit of security in that machine, and he came down with a partner. The 19 of Ed Peoples is also down on the pit lane, and a couple other trucks are down as well. So interesting. They must have been short on fuel, because I don't see why you would you'd want to pit and get any sort of advantage and get thrown back around 25th place, because the way these laps start to wind down and the way the driving is going to start to pick up at this point. An interesting call for sure.
Sal Accardi now coming off of pit road. Let's see if we can grab him one more time here over on the TeamSpeak side. Sal, you guys making the pit stop there, getting the fuel in the truck. I'm assuming you guys are good to go for the rest of the race.
Yeah, we're good now. Truck's been good. I mean, fast. I got some help from my teammates, and we got some fuel in it, and now we'll go to the end.
What's it going to take to climb through the ladder and get yourself a solid finish to start off the 2014 Season 4 campaign?
We're definitely going to have to hook up here with somebody. You know, last couple of laps, you ain't got no friends, you know, in this racing, but we'll see what happens.
That's Sal Accardi Jr. driving the number 39 machine. Sal, we'll let you go. Concentrate on the business racing. Best of luck to you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
That's Sal Accardi driving in the number 39 machine. He will restart at the back again. He'll start at the back of the field, and we will be back to green flag racing in about a lap and a half. So Sal Accardi, you saw him leading several laps there, Evan, but based on that, based on where he's restarting now, he's going to have a hard time climbing back through the field and getting back to the top.
And it puts him in the same boat as some other fast guys that we've seen. I mean, you take a look back there, 20th place, the 43, that's Rex Buchanan. George Bark, 42, he's 19th. Everett Lane in the 1 is an 18th. Dale Smalling, the 69 is in 14th. So there was a lot of fast guys in the back, and that's not to discredit these guys running up front, because they're running a solid race right now. But these guys are good, and they're good at Talladega, and they are bad fast. And I don't believe that they're not going to be able to make it up through this field. The question is, can they navigate the wrecks that may or may not happen and try to get back through there? And with the experience that they have here, when they get up to these guys up front, what's going to happen? And I think that's going to be the key question here when we get down to the closing laps.
Position, always the key question, always the $64,000 question, and more importantly, will we see any more caution flags come out? We are 30 to go at this juncture. When we're back to green flag racing, we will be 29 to go on this field. Watkins Rudderman will restart positions number 1 and 2. Jason Halverson, despite the rear end damage on the 21 machine, he will be in position number 3. And then Gary Bauer, who's been in and out of the top 10 all night, restarting on the outside of row number 2. Mark Maffitt, Daniel Miller, row number 3. David Wenck, Garrett Atwell, row number 4. Ross Cato and Daniel Ingerfeld will restart your top 10. But still, lots of incredible drivers just lurking on the outside. Michael Churchma restarts 11th. Colton Berkey restarts 12th. Dale Smalley, 13th. Mark McFadden, 14th. Joel Wood, who is running up front, 15th. Travis Brown, Everett Lane, Rex Buchanan, Brad Larson, all these drivers working very hard to get back up front. They are all within striking distance. The big question mark, though, is Dallas Miracle. He's going to restart 27th on this field. Does he have enough time to get back up front and get back to the business of racing?
Yeah, it's going to be the question. Obviously, he has utilized those resets that he has been given, so he's got a fresh race car. Take a look at Alan Larson in the 24. However, he is a lap down, so there is a race for the lucky dog. The 15 machine of Dominic Dyball is in 28th. That's the first car lap down. You got Jay Anderson, the Sportsman of the Year from last season in the 18, sitting 29th. He's the second car lap down. Alan Larson is the third car lap down. A lot of fast guys. One lap down, so that's a secondary race to keep an eye on as the field works their way down this front chute. And the Ford First Racing Mustang pace car down to the safety of the pit lane.
Lights are off. The base car is off. Let's go back to green flag racing. Michael Watkins, Eric Rodman in control of this field here in the Dale Smalley Drywall 101. Green flag flies. The loud pedals back at work. And it's going to be the 96 of Eric Rodman. He will be officially your leader on lap 72. 29 to go. Rodman in front. Watkins second. Gary Bauer now in third, but he needs a little bit of help if he wants to stay there. The 27 of Jason Halverson needing help as well as the 06 of Daniel Miller and the 4 of Garrett Atwell. They're going to go through turns 1 and 2 and down the super stretch with a huge run on the 21.
Yeah, the 21 of Jason Halverson has no help, and that's bad for Gary Bauer because that's who Gary Bauer was pretty much dependent on at this point. So Bauer's hanging in there kind of in the wake of the draft of those guys in front of him. But taking a look now, the 06 of Miller is coming up on his back bumper. Does Daniel Miller maybe want to go with Gary Bauer, knowing that Bauer's experience here? And is he going to leave the 4 of Garrett Atwell at the drive? They could have blown by him. But it looks like the 27 machine of Gary Bauer, he's sticking with these guys on the inside lane, and looks like the 06 of Daniel Miller is going to try to hook up with him, which would evidently leave the driver of that 4 machine, Garrett Atwell, without a drafting partner. If these guys can get hooked up and start to pull away, 36 with a little bit of a bobble, he's going to hang in line. Now they're checking up. The 27 of Bauer hangs on to it, and they're scrambling at a turn number 2, and now the guys in behind are going to close in him. Here comes the 10 machine of Mark Maffitt on the top lane with help from the 53 machine of Daniel Ingerfeld.
Lots of jabber going on, lots of horse trading going on at 200 miles per hour as this last race starts to slow down. Eric Rodman, Michael Watkins, your top 2. The number 27 of Gary Bauer, he's in third. He's having looks like some problems with the 06 machine. They can't communicate quite as well as they'd like up at the top side. The 10 machine, that is going to, the 10 machine, that is going to be Mark Maffitt. He's going to now work with the 53 of Daniel Ingerfeld, and here comes the 4 of Garrett Atwell as the caboose to that train. But 2 is company, 3 is not out there as they continue to run side by side for the lead now. Eric Rodman has control of this field. He's looking for a $50 payday as a result. The 36 machine of Michael Watkins riding his bumper for dear life. And then up top, the 10 machine, just working as hard as he can. The 53 machine working as hard as he can. Now the 27 are side by side with the 06. 10 almost gets into the 36. Big trouble, and we might have some more trouble yet on the track.
That was a close call up front. They're hanging on to it for now, but you can see the intensity is picking up, and they're too wide all the way back through this pack. The top 20 easily within 2 seconds of each other, but up at the front of the field, it is going to continue to be the Eric Rodeman in the 96 leading that lap, but here comes the 10 of Mark Maffitt on the top lane with help from the 53 of Daniel Lingerfeld. Remember, they started to catch these guys after that big checkup through turn number 2 2 laps ago. However, they're going to get disconnected on corner exit, and that's really where the top lane is the strongest.
Trouble on the track. The 3, the 19 machine get involved. The 35 machine, Nathan Sedlak's around once again. Nathan Sedlak facing the wrong way on the front stretch. He's going to get it working back on the right way. James Wilkins dog tracking down there a little bit. He is going to be in trouble out there. No caution flag on the field yet, but very, very scary moments. Back up front, things are moving and shaking around.
3 wide for 20 at the 43 of Rex Buchanan on the inside, or in the middle rather, is going to get to the inside after he is going to get around the 21 machine. That is Jason Halverson, but no caution on that. An interesting call by the officials to not throw one, because there were cars backwards and in the wall on the racing surface, as opposed to the previous incident where we saw them get into the inside wall and the officials threw the caution. These guys were going backwards and into the outside wall on the racing groove, but I guess because we just went back to the green flag, the track has been cleared that time as the leaders went on by, so no caution is going to fly. Another thing to note, Ryan Borges has been black flagged by the race officials. He has been down there for the last couple laps to serve that, and he is now going back out on the racetrack. The reason for the black flag was for him being unable to maintain a safe speed on the racetrack.
The 90 of Mark McFadden continues to run. Had some problems checking it out there. He was to run all just outside the top 10. Dale Smalley now running just outside the top 10 as well in the 69 machine. A lot of guys starting to climb through the field and starting to position themselves for a big run as the race starts to wean here at Talladega Super Speedway. Eric Rodeman still up front. Michael Watkins second now. It looks like there's a challenge on the outside. The 88 machine pushing the 30. Ross Cato, Michael Churchma hooked up. And Churchma, he was one of your runners-up last season. You know he wants to get back up front. You know he wants to win this race, not necessarily for the $50 payday, but to have a big, big advantage on Dale Smalley for the 4th season championship.
And definitely, they're going to be side by side this time by the stripe, and the 96 machine is going to lead, but a little bit of a checkup there as the 36 machine behind him of Michael Watkins almost got to his inside lane there, coming out of the tribal day, the checkup, and that has allowed the 30 to get side by side. So here we go, coming off of turn number 2. It is the 30 of Ross Cato on the top with help from the 88 of Michael Churchma, and they're going to start to pull away here down the back straightaway. Does the 30 machine ditch his partner? I don't think so. I think he's going to stick with Churchman. They should be able to clear these guys down the front stretch if they stay hooked up, because on that inside lane, the 36 of Rodeman and the 96 machine, rather, of Eric Rodeman and the 36 of Michael Watkins are not hooked up, and now you see the 30 of Cato and the 88 of Michael Churchman going to clear them and move on down to the inside lane to assumes P1 and 2.
Ross Cato, Michael Churchman, 1 and 2 on this field, but behind them they continue to run double file. The run leading the high line is the 10 of Mark Maffitt, leading the low line, the 96 of Eric Rodeman, and still lots of talented drivers in this field yet. Daniel Miller, the 06, running in the top 10. Gary Bauer in the top 10. David Wenk and Dale Smalley now back in the top 10 for the first time after that incident he was involved in. So Dale Smalley biding his time, working his way through this race. Everybody else working as hard as they can to get through. George Bark, after serving his penalty, he's back now in the top 15. Garrett Atwell in the top 15. Joel Wood, Everett Lane back up there. Now Salacardi's in that group as well. And the number looks like the 90 machine of Mark McFadden back in that group as well. 15 drivers, all within striking distance. All of them chasing the 30 of Ross Cato as time is running out. 21 laps to go left this time by.
That 10 machine is staying dedicated to the top lane, and here he comes. That's Mark Maffitt on the top lane. I do believe he still has help. That is the 53 machine on his back bumper. That's Daniel Lingerfeld. These guys have been with each other as they work their way around the lap traffic machine of the 48. That's not something you normally see, that the 48 is lap traffic. That's Dallas Miracle going, I do believe that is his second lap down there. But there's no caution now on the racetrack. There's trouble back there in the pack as Caution flag is going to fly, and the 43 machine of Rex Buchanan is in the outside wall with heavy, heavy damage.
43, heavy smoke coming out of that machine, and it looks like it's going to involve Alan Larson again as well, getting loose off the bumper of the 81 machine, and the 34 looks like made contact with a 24 as well. So the 34 machine, that is going to be Robbie Williams making contact with the 43 of Buchanan and the 24 of Alan Larson. Alan did warn us before the race the LSR TV curse might strike, and it looks like it has struck multiple times for Alan Larson. Not where you want to be. Rex Buchanan, same situation for him, as he wanted to work it. He wanted to work it. He wanted to be up front. He was up front for a little bit, but incident after incident will cause you to hold the position as best you can.
He was starting to work his way back forward, and then, just kind of ran out of it, and it happened where he was on the back bumper, you mentioned, of the 81 machine just up in front of him, and that was Colton Berkey, and I told you that I think they might have hooked up because he had the 81 back there with him, and they were making a little bit of headway, and Alan Larson just kind of got off the back bumper of that 81 and opened up the door, and an aggressive move by the driver of the 34 machine to try to make that work and go to the inside lane, which would evidently leave the 24 of Larson out to dry. That was Robbie Williams in the 34 with help from the 63. That was Brad Lawson in the 63 machine, and they went to go to the middle, and next thing you know, without any contact between Larson and the 34, Larson's truck just kind of broke sideways, so maybe a little bit of net code or prediction code there, and he just went sideways into the 34, and a hard lick for the driver of that 43 Rex Buchanan just shot up the racetrack and pounded that outside wall, and evidently that's going to put us back under the caution flag again. And again, a lot of fast drivers that really like Talladega just not getting the luck, and again, it kind of brings back into the spotlight that you can be, no matter how good you are at Talladega, it's definitely not forgiving.
Not forgiving at all. Lots of drivers now coming down to the attention of their crews. Robbie Williams down on pit road. Brad Lawson, Don Stevenson, Ryan Borges remains on pit road. James Wilkins, Jason Halverson, Rex Buchanan on pit road. Jay Anderson as well. But what you won't see, your leaders not coming down pit road. Ross Cato stays out. Michael Churchman stays out. Eric Rodman, Mark Maffitt, Daniel Ingerfeld, Michael Watkins, Daniel Miller, David Wenk, and Gary Bauer and Dale Smalley all electing to stay out to the attention, not to come down to the attention of their crews. Time is running out, and these guys are kind of gambling it. They're risking it a little bit.
Yeah, again, and you're going to have to try to make that call, and I bet if you do decide to come down to pit lane after the race, you're going to look at that and be like, well, maybe we shouldn't have. And then, you don't make that, and you don't come down, and at the end of the race, you're going to look at it and be like, well, I should have made that stop. And again, that's just, you got to do it in the moment. You got to really take as much information as you can. Again, these drivers just can't sit there and go through numbers and really take a look at what's going on. They got to kind of use what information that they have and try to make the best decision that'll put them in the best spot when it comes down to this thing. But we're inside the final 20 laps, so it's really now the home stretch of this race, and track position is going to be key at this point.
Track position is absolutely key. It is absolutely critical if you want to make a run. Let's see if we can talk to one of those drivers that have been rolling the dice a little bit as well. That's the driver of the number 4 machine, Garrett Atwell. Garrett, it's show over in your TeamSpeak channel. Got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you.
Garrett, you're currently running 13 in what was a great run with time running out. What's the plan now?
I honestly have no idea right now. It's I've used both of my resets, and it's, I don't know, dude.
That makes it a lot tougher. Currently, you're going to restart 13th. When we go back to green flag racing with time running out, is it just burn it down and see what happens? Or is there going to be a little bit of wait and see as to what happens in front of you?
Honestly, I think I'm going for it right now.
Neon Racing, what's the feel down on pit road? What's the feel in the garages right now with you and the Neon Racing guys?
Well, we're just we got Martin Porter and Sal Accardi up here. They're teammates, and then we got Joel and Everett, which are affiliated. So I mean, we got some of our teammates up here, and we're just gonna all try to get in the front, get the top 5, hopefully.
How much did pit strategy play into your guys' run tonight, and how much did it play into what you can and can't do at this juncture in the race?
I have not had any pit strategy. I mean, it's been just do what others do. I mean, I don't think any of us have been on the same strategy at all. But, we're just going for it. I think we're all good on fuel for the rest of the way. So, I mean, we're going to race it out.
Race it out and have a good time with what's left in this race. Garrett Atwell driving the number 4 truck tonight. Garrett, best of luck to you, and hopefully we'll see you with a big, good finish tonight.
Thanks, man.
That's Garrett Atwell, currently sitting in position number 13, looking to make some moves. It's all out or get out for Neon Racing as they get ready to go back to green flag racing in just a couple more laps.
Definitely, and you talk to him about the sense of urgency that he's going to have in these closing laps, and you take a look at the amount of laps that are going to be on the board here, and take a look at how long the cautions last, and the fact that there is no green-white checker system in the iRacing service, and you got to think you might be able to get away with two more cautions, maybe 3 if they happen real quick. So you're going to have to get going. And again, those guys that I talked about, real fast guys back at the pack, they really haven't had a lot of green flag laps to get their way through. They're starting to creep up. Dale Smalley into 69. He's up to 10th. Travis Brown in the 33 is up to 11th. Everett Lane in the number 1 machine hasn't gotten quite as far. He's still back there in 16th position. But again, if we see a wreck at the front of the field, it could be whoever finds that gap to get through and survive to get to victory lane here at Talladega. So this thing's far from over, but definitely with the laps winding down and the way that the cautions have fallen so far in this race, and the fact that these guys are only going to be going harder for it from this point on, you really got to make every moment count. And if you see that gap, you got to shoot for it and hope it all works out for the better.
Lights are off this time. 1 more to go for back to green flag racing. We should be back to green flag racing with about 16 laps left to go in this feature. And you mentioned a very important point right there just a moment ago. There is no overdrive finish in this sim. There is no green-white checkered finish. So if the yellow flag comes out again with about 4 to go, the race will be over. And then we just got 4 very long parade laps to sit through before we finish tonight at Talladega Superspeedway in the Dale Smalley Dale Smalley Drywall 101 to open up season 4 of Championship Online Racing Association. Speaking of Dale Smalley, I know he's got to be frustrated with all these yellow flags in the field. We just heard him on the moment ago telling his crew chief, if we have another caution flag, I'm just going to drop $5 in the swear jar because I got a lot of things I want to say. And I don't think I can blame him. He's currently sitting 10th right now. You know he's antsy to get back to green flag racing and start going through this field.
Yeah, definitely. And again, it kind of goes back to the whole theme of this past week. We saw with the MIRL race, we saw with the Upstate Racing League race, and it is defending champions trying to make their splash in the first race back once we get back racing here in the new 2014 season. He's going to be sitting on the high lane, taking a look at the guys around him. The 20 of David Wink is in front of him. 42 of George Bark is behind him. He's got a lot of fast guys around him. It's just going to be about finding the guy that's going to stick with you, or knowing, if this guy's going to leave you, to be anticipating that and really to just maybe steal somebody else's partner. Really no mercy at this point. Once we come by this time to take the green flag, we're going to be about 15, 16 laps left on the board as the lights off in the Ford First Racing pace car up the top of the field down to the safety of pit lane, and the field is going to be in the hands of the 30 machine of Ross Cato up front.
Ross Cato, Michael Churchman getting ready to go back to green flag racing, and we will be restarting in just one more less than lap's time. The green flag flies, and we're back to the business of racing. Scoring lap number 86, Ross Cato, Michael Churchman, first and second. Churchman getting the push from Mark Maffett, Eric Raudeman. They want to go fast. They want to go fast in a hurry. The number 36 of Michael Watkins, he continues to hang on. And now the 10 machine using the chrome bumper, using that bow tie as a battering ram to cut through this field. The number 10 of Mark Maffett, he is wasting no time down the super stretch. And here comes the 69 of Dale Smalley. He's back in the mix, and he wants to make some moves quick.
Yeah, the 42 machine got on his back bumper, and that's George Bark. They're working up into this. The 36 of Michael Watkins going to drop down to the inside lane, which means it's going to be Dale Smalley leading the outside charge, trying to work up. Those guys made up a lot of ground in this past lap after the 30 machine of Cato almost had some trouble on the restart as the guy behind him starting P3 didn't get a good jump, and the 10 machine of Mark Moffitt got on the back over the 88 of Churchma, and he could have easily jumped down and left Churchma, so it's good for those guys that they've ended up single file. Looks like the 88 and the 30 machine are going to stay hooked up. You got that tandem up top with 69 of Smalley and the 42 of George Bark. So you got to take a look at the inside and anticipate the 36 of Watkins and the 10 machine of Moffitt to try to work together here.
Ross Cato, Michael Churchman are their first two, and then there's Dale Smalley trying to win his title race here on LSR TV. He wants to hoist the trophy of the Dale Smalley Drywall 101, and he looks in championship form to do that with time running out. Getting the push from the 42 of George Bark. They continue to run high. The 30-88 running low. Michael Churchman nowhere to go, stuck behind the 30. Here comes the 69. Dale Smalley driving it like he stole it, getting the run from the 42 machine. And we have a brand new race with less than 15 to go.
And they're starting to group up. It's side by side down the backstretch, and the advantage is going to go to Smalley. So the 42 of George Bark still pushing him. They're going to try to clear these guys off of 4 because they're going to stall out ever so slightly here, going in through 3 and 4 side by side. As now the 90 machine of Mark McFadden behind him is into the picture. That the number 1 machine of Everett Lane has made up a ton of spots these last 2 laps. He's sitting about 6th spot right now as they work through the tribal, still side by side for P1.
30 of Ross Cato has the advantage low side. It's a 69 of Dale Smalley wants it, can't get it this time by, and we continue to drag race through turns 1 and 2. Get Ross Cato low. The number 1 of Everett Lane cuts through the field. Now he's working through as hard as he can. Michael Watkins not happy with the 1 for nearly dive bombing him, but that's the cost of doing business as they go side by side in and out. The 69 of Smalley back with the advantage on the super stretch. Can he hold it from the drag race strip down to turns 3 and 4, 69 and 30, still doing business side by side. The 30 machine of Ross Cato has the advantage one more time. Can he hold on for one more lap?
Got to be careful if you're the 88 and the 42 machine there, because if you're in the middle of a 3-car bump session, you could easily get shot out of line. This time by the 69 of Dale Smalley is going to lead lap 90 within 12 laps to go now in this race at the Talladega Super Speedway. 42 machine still on the back bumper. The 69 a little bit of a checkup. That's going to give now the 30 of Cato an advantage. Caution flag flies.
43 involved in the caution flag. Let's go ahead and keep. No, they're going to check it up. Let's go ahead and go to the incident. The 43 of Rex Buchanan involved in that incident. That will bring out the caution flag once again here at Talladega Super Speedway. Looks like the 43 and 19 hooking up. That's Rex Buchanan in the 43 machine, and the 19 of Ed Peoples also being involved in that one. Those two trucks get hooked up. They go for a ride, and that could end their competition tonight. Bad news for them, but good news for the guys up front as this changes the complexion of the race.
And Dale Smalley, again, in that heated battle for P1, is going to be scored in second right now. So you have Cato, who is working with Church, but they're going to start first and third if they don't come down the pit lane. So they're going to be bumper to bumper on the inside. Smalley and his partner Bark in the 42, they're going to be bumper to bumper on the outside, positions number 2 and 4. So it's really going to be who can get hooked up first and get going. A great move by Smalley and Bark to get up there, but once they got side by side with those leaders, they just didn't have the little bit of extra ounce in the middle of the corner to stick with that 30 machine of Ross Cato on the inside line, and that's why we continue to lead here late in the going at Talladega.
Alan Larson, driver of that number 24 CORA machine, he ended up getting out of the race a little bit early tonight and joining us here back in the booth. I know this is not where you wanted to be, Alan, but, you know, like you said earlier, the LSR curse, it tends to happen.
Yeah, it does. It is what it is. Just not my night again. Just, you know, what can he say? You know, it's Talladega.
It is the big monster. You can't avoid it. You just hope to contain it. Alan, let's talk about this real quick, the quality of racing that we had out there tonight. I know we've had a few yellow flags, but it doesn't take away from the hard driving these guys are doing and the hard dedication these guys have worked on.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of really good racing out there. But on the other hand, I've seen a lot of stupid moves too. So, you know, you get the good with the bad, you get the bad with the good. You know, you just one of them things. It's the first race of a new season, and we got a little bit of rust to shake off, and I think we'll get it together here.
Are we seeing a little bit of new nerves out here? Are we seeing a lot of nervous racing, considering it is the first one of the new season?
I'm not really sure if it's nervousness because of the first race. I think it's just the whole Sunday money and, wanting to be there, wanting the TV time, wanting the whole deal, and it's just, you make decisions out there in a split of second, and sometimes they're not always the right ones.
Not always the right ones, and in this case, costing you a shot of $50 tonight.
Yeah. My truck was running good. I just was buying my time. I was hoping I was going to get the lucky dog there, and that last incident. I respect CORA's decision to call that a EOL on me, but it is what it is. It's I don't know.
Alan Larson joining us after hard racing out there on the track. Rules changes we've talked about throughout the race, including the winners of the qualifying races transferring to the top 3 spots based on their fastest lap. But I think the one that interests me the most is the fact that we're no longer going to see very violent switches in the schedule. Now we're going to see 5 races in the trucks, 5 races in another car, then 5 races in another car before we go back.
Right. That's actually 4 races. There's a couple other races that are in the chase. And another thing, I don't know if you've touched on this yet or not, but we have individual championships for them vehicles too. So there's 5 total truck races. We're running 4 truck races. Then we're running another 4 Class B races, and then 4 Gen 6 races, and then 4 IndyCar races. And the IndyCars aren't in the chase, so there's 2 truck races in the chase, and that's 4 races as well, one with the Gen 6, one with the Class B. But each one of them vehicles will have its own champion, and the top 5, the winner will get a cash prize, and the top 5 will get prizes. So, it's going to get quite interesting.
Going to get very interesting, to say the very least. 4 kinds of cars to master in the Sunday Money Series, all in the name of being the champion. Alan, what's the rest of your season look like? When are we going to see you back on the track?
I'm not really sure. Probably at a couple of the super speedway races yet. That's pretty much all I'll be on the speedway for. I want to let them get 1.5 mile gurus out there and run them, because I'm not. I don't want to. I'm not in this for the championship. So I want to stay out of their way when I can. I know I was kind of in their way tonight, so maybe I should have stayed out tonight, eh?
Maybe so, maybe not. It's hard to tell, Alan Larson joining us in the booth. Stick around, buddy. I'm sure we'll be coming back to you at some point before this thing is over.
Yeah, 10-4, thanks.
Alan Larson joining us in the booth. And Evan, this is what really makes Sunday Money what it is every year, every season, in and out. It's not just about being a master at one track, master at one car. You've got to master several different kinds of racing across 4 different cars. I couldn't do it. You might be able to, Evan, but I couldn't.
I'm a lot better at talking like I know what I'm doing rather than actually doing it. That's why I'm up here. It changes the aspect of it. The fact that it's now really brought down and designated to those certain group of cars. It can give some of the guys a little bit more time to focus. And in the previous seasons, those were the dominant cars that we saw the most. And then, you'd have your odd race out where you really throw a big twist into it. Now that you get this, I think that if someone's going to challenge Dale Smalley for the championship, it's going to be this season, because now they can really hone in their efforts onto those certain vehicles and try to get it done. So if anyone's going to overthrow Dale Smalley, 3-time defending champion, it's going to be right now, season 4, with this change.
If Dale Smalley doesn't win the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 here at Talladega Super Speedway, lights will go off this time by. We will restart with 7 to go, it's 6 to go, plus or minus. And this will be the last restart we see on the field, Evan.
Yeah, definitely. And lights are off atop that Ford First Racing Mustang pace car at the front of the field. We're going to come around to take lap number 95. So I do believe that'll be about 6 or 7 laps to go in this race once we get to that point. And again, with no additional laps eligible, with no green white checkers in the iRacing system, you got to make it count now. And the way Dale Smalley got up through that pack with that 42 machine, I look for them on that top side to be fierce. It's really going to come down to if it's going to be the 30 and the 88 going to get hooked up first, or the 69 and the 42 going to get hooked up first on the top lane and try to get out going in front of this field, because anything can happen back there in the pack. I mean, you know, you look at 20 laps into this race, if you get a big run on somebody, you're going to back off. Now, you're just going to hit them in the back and hope that it gives you guys both a big jump. So, this point in the race, you can't trust those guys behind you to mind their P's and Q's late in the going at Talladega. They're going to be going for everything they got and try to get that win. So, you need to get this best start, and this is the restart that could determine the outcome of this race.
Alan Larson, real quick, you were in the middle of that firestorm. What are we going to see on this last restart?
Chaos.
Well, you heard it from the man right there. Chaos. Get ready for chaos and destruction, and whatever isn't bent will be by the time it's all said and done. Ross Cato, Dale Smalley restarting on the row number 1. Michael Churchma, George Bark behind him. Everett Lane, Mark McFadden 2 rows behind him. David Wenk, Michael Watkins, Gary Bauer, Mark Maffett, your top 10, and still plenty of talent there. In the top 15, Joel Wood, Garrett Atwell still in the top 15. Travis Brown, Sal Accardi, Colton Berkey in the top 20. Get ready for the restart of your lives, the final restart of the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 to kick off this CORA Season 4 Green Flag Flies. And Dale Smalley back in control of this race. He's got to hold on for 7 more circuits.
He beat the 30 machine of Cato to the line, but again, Talladega, different from all the other tracks. If we're at a 1.5 mile speedway, that leader's going to want to get a jump. He wants to wait till the green flag because he needs the 88 machine of Churchman to be with them. They're going to get a big run now, coming off a 2 on the inside lane as the 1 machine of Everett Lane is pushing on the 88 as well. But down the back straightaway, it is Dale Smalley with a slight advantage going to 3.
4 trucks low, 2 trucks high, all eyes on the 69 of Dale Smalley. Ross Cato looking to rain on the 3-time champions parade. And here comes Michael Churchma, your runner-up from last season. Churchma definitely wants to ruin the party for the 69 machine of Smalley. Ross Cato now in the lead, 6 circuits remaining at Talladega Super Speedway. Ross Cato in front, Michael Churchma on his bumper, 2 by 2. They continue to fight through turns 1 and 2.
Smalley and Barker coming again on the outside lane. They lost a lot of speed down that front stretch, but they're starting to get back up there on that outside, and this is where they're going to get a run. Coming off the corner, 69 machine, Dale Smalley with help from the 42 machine of George Bark down that middle lane on the top groove, and in the 3, it's going to be Smalley with the advantage. But now the 30 of Cato with help from Churchman is going to get a little bit of a run in the middle of the corner. They don't stall out like that top lane does when you have to go up that hill, but it's the exit that outside lane is strong, and the 88 almost disconnected with the 30 of Cato, still door-to-door through the tri-oval.
Through the tri-oval they go into the start-finish line. It will be a photo finish to complete lap 96, 97, now being scored on the board. 5 to go. Ross Cato, 0.02 of a second away from Dale Smalley. George Mark still giving him the push. The 88 and 30 looking like they're having some trouble out there. The 1 machine still waiting to find and see what happens. They continue to run out there. Meanwhile, back in the pack, still very, very tight racing, but all eyes on the leaders, your top 5, as they are battling tooth and nail for this win.
You've got to keep that truck cool. I do believe the 42 machine of George Bark might be hot because he's been behind Smalley the whole time. The 88 of Churchman, he has a little bit of a luxury being behind the race leader and having the inside lane because he can kind of back off a little bit and not lose a lot of time. If those guys get off like they did in there and on the exit of 4, they're going to lose a lot more time. You see, as soon as they get back hooked up, here they come again on the top side. More cars coming into the picture as we're 4 wide back in the pack as they try to hang on to it through 3 and 4. The 27 of Gary Bauer is now in the picture with help from the 10 machine of Mark Maffett, down off of 2 now, and they're 2 wide through the pack here down the back stretch in the closing laps at Talladega.
4 wide at one point, now 2 wide going through into turns 3 and 4. Ross Cato, Michael Churchma still have the advantage. 1 truck length for Ross Cato over the 69 of Dale Smalley. The 1 of Everett Lane back and forth on his back bumper, rocking it like a ship on the ocean. Sun Machine is in the wall. Caution flag is out. It will be a photo finish. A 30 machine of Ross Cato. The 69 goes high. Who will it be? It's going to be Ross Cato in front, winning the Dale Smalley Drywall 101. Dale Smalley coming in second. Michael Churchman third. George Mark fourth. Everett Lane fifth. Yellow flag is out on lap 99. The race is over.
They're wrecking now through 1 and 2 under the yellow flag. The 79 machine of Joel Wood is torn up, and that wreck happened well after the caution flag flew, and the race is done. It's going to end under the yellow flag. Never what you want to see at Talladega, but those were some pretty intense closing laps. The margin of victory is going to go to Ross Cato in the 30 machine over Dale Smalley by 6 1/1000ths of a second for that number 1 spot. You mentioned Dale Smalley in second place in the 69, Churchman in the 88, third, George Bark in the 42. And now they're wrecking at the end of the race. The 30 machine of Ross Cato's around, race leader, as trouble at a 4, and the 88's around as well.
I don't have any words for what we just saw. Alan Larson, I'm going to let you take the microphone because I honestly have no way to explain what we just saw there a moment ago.
I can't say either. I'm trying to figure out what happened.
Evan, you might have to carry this broadcast because I don't know. Just start talking. Take the microphone.
Just kind of go on. Okay, well, the weather 65 degrees Fahrenheit, no wind at all, relative humidity at 10% at the Talladega Super Speedway, 2.66 miles in length. Now, it was a very strange incident. Again, the scoring's going to update this time around with Michael Churchman in P1 because of the incident that happened. So they're going to try to give everybody back in the right spots. But Dale Smalley just ran over Churchman and Cato, and I don't think that would be an intentional thing. I don't know if it was a love tap gone wrong or something up there at the front of the field, but definitely bizarre. That would make it about 2 wrecks under the yellow flag there, and everyone's trying to get things sorted out now because now the iRacing scoring has been modified from that incident. Ross Cato has got back up on the back bumper of the pace car and is going to reassume P1. So Joel Wood is going to receive an EOL in the number 79 machine. He is one of the cars that spun in 1 and 2 after the caution flag had flown, and he was on the apron and merged back up onto the track and took himself out. So a very fluid situation right now, and race control is very, very busy at the moment.
Race control having a lot of stuff to figure out right now. The 30 machine says he's got some damage, and the sim is telling him he needs to repair it or be black flagged with 1 to go. The 30's asking race control what exactly he needs to do. The 88 now currently scored in second. Dale Smalley currently scored third. As we get ready to go back to green flag, or not green flag racing, go back to the last yellow flag lap of the evening. The yellow and white will come out this time around. Lots of confusion for these drivers out here. Lots of I'm not sure exactly how to describe it, but lots of confusion at the end of this race.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, as the field continuing to work under the yellow flag conditions. Evidently not going to be enough laps to restart this thing, so everybody's gotten back in the right order. Ross Cato has got his black flags cleared along with Michael Churchman. They got spun and had to get back to their positions. So the white flag is out for lap number 101, and the 30 machine of Ross Cato up front just has to make one more circuit under the yellow flag, and he's going to go to victory lane to open off CORA's 2014 Season 4 campaign in a strange and wild finish out at the Speedway.
Alan Larson, I'm going to bring you in on this real quick because this is really, I think there's a real clarification we need here, as the 88 and 69 seem to have swapped positions. Will the 88 behold this position number 2 at the end of the race, or are we going to have some, or is this going to have to go under review for a little bit?
I believe this is going to have to go under review for a bit. I have no idea exactly what happened there, but it sure seemed strange.
Strange is a good way to describe this race. I know you were right in the middle of it, and tonight's race it seemed to be a lot of nervous driving, a lot of aggressive driving tonight Tonight's driving just really seemed to be, I don't want to say atypical for Cora, but tonight's definitely an anomaly, I guess, to start season 4.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully next week at Atlanta we'll straighten them out. I think we'll be all right. But we'll just take it 1 week at a time, and I'm sure we'll fix it up. Like I said, it's a little bit of rust shaking off. It's been first race of the season. We'll get it straightened out.
Long off season, and it might be a long season for some of these drivers, as tonight we finish the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 at Talladega Superspeedway under the yellow flag. Ross Cato will be credited unofficially as your winner. Michael Church was second, Dale Smalley third, Everett Lane, George Bark your top 5, Mark McFadden, Gary Bauer, Mark Maffett, Garrett Atwell, David Wenk your top 10. Going through the rest of the field, Daniel Miller, Daniel Ingerfeld, Travis Brown, Eric Rodham, Sal Carter, your top 15. Robbie Williams, Brad Lawson, Michael Watkins, Colton Berkey, and Joel Wood. Looks like going to finish out the top 20. They will cross the line for the final time at this point, with time running out in the server and on the track. Ross Cato, unofficially your winner. Michael Churchman, unofficially second. Dale Smalley, third. Evan, this was a race.
It was a race and more, I think. And again, those last few laps were wicked, and it seemed like you could never get that green flag finish at Talladega. So if the day comes when we get the green-white checkers, Joe, I think these races are just going to get that much more wild. But those last few laps, Dale Smalley was getting that back bumper beat off by the 42 machine of George Bark, and they were going, and they just couldn't get it done. And then the caution flew, and it was a drag race to the finish line, and Cato got it by 6,000ths of a second. So at the end of the day, what a race. And I want to say I'm surprised by how exciting it was, but it's every race here at CORA, and especially when we go to Dega.
Tonight's race, no exception. 27 lead changes across the 101 laps. Even despite 10 cautions and 38 caution laps here at Talladega, we still had 27 different lead changes out here and a whole host of leaders all trying to be number one. Ross Cato unofficially scoring the win in the opening race here tonight for the Season 4 of Championship Online Racing Association. Michael Churchman second, Dale Smalley third. When we return, we will talk to your top 3 unofficial drivers, go through tonight's race, and get ready to go racing in 1 week's time from Atlanta in the trucks with CORA. Ross Cato unofficially your winner. When we return, we'll talk to him about this wild race, the Dale Smalley Drywall 101, officially kicking off the CORA season. Stay tuned, race fans. The post-race show is next. The Dale Smalley Drywall 101 to officially done here at CORA Championship Racing. 101 laps done to kick off season number 4 live on LSR TV. Ross Cato, your big winner. Michael Churchman, Dale Smalley, Everett Lane, George Mark, your top 5. Mark McFadden, Gary Bauer, Mark Maffett, Gary Atwell, and David Wenck rounding out your top 10. All unofficial, but right now the only thing officially happening on track is Ross Cato celebrating his provisional win. Let's go ahead and take it down to Evan Pasoko live in Victory Lane with Ross Cato.
And definitely he's going to climb out of his number 30 machine. Ross Cato victorious for the first race with the CORA Sunday Money Series 2014, a Season 4 campaign. And Ross, before we get into those little details, what were you thinking there in those closing laps there as you saw Dale Smalley, the 3-time defending champ, coming up on that right-hand side?
Well, thanks, first of all. Yeah, I was really nervous. I know Dale's got a fast truck, and all I could do was just keep it on the bottom. But one trick that I like to do with my mind is just I don't ever expect to win. So when you don't expect it, it doesn't hurt that bad. But luckily, I was able to pull it off with the help from the driver of that 88 truck. I want to thank Michael.
Yeah, definitely. How important was having that 88 stay dead to you and on your back bumper there on that inside lane to be able to hold him off on the top?
Having him there was crucial. I couldn't have done it without him.
Definitely. Take a look back at this race in entirety. 101 laps at Talladega is a marathon for sure in these machines, but you qualified 23rd. You had the 24th fastest truck in practice. So when you come into the race, starting back there mid-pack, what were your expectations and what was the game plan to be able to knock off 101 laps and then be there at the end in competition to get that W?
Well, I did a last-minute setup change. I want to thank David Wenck. He hooked me up with a good setup. Qualifying setup wasn't really that powerful, obviously, but I mean it's Talladega, and it's just a big chess game. You can be up in the front, and then 5 minutes later you can be in the back, and then. So yeah, that was the main factor for me, is just that last-minute setup change. It's a whole lot faster.
Yeah, definitely coming down there and the caution flag flying and you get the W and it's all said and done. How important is it to start off a season, and what kind of momentum does this give you moving forward to take the race win in the first one of the season?
Well, it certainly establishes me and my team, Fast Forward Racing, as we're definitely competitive, and we know that we can win races, and we've demonstrated that in the past. Just to start this season off with a win, it's really important. I mean, I'm getting my name out there, getting my team names out there, and yeah.
Definitely, you talked about it. We're taking a look at your 30 machine right now on the broadcast, and it's a sharp-looking truck. Any other sponsors or shout-outs you want to throw out there?
I want to thank CORA, of course, all the people, all the men and women who work on the inner machinations of this league and all the jobs that they have and titles. And I always thank my little brother every time I'm interviewed. My little brother, he's the one who helped me set up iRacing and the computers. And so, yeah, those are my thanks.
Well, congratulations on the victory, and good luck in these upcoming races.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Joe, that's going to do it down here from Victory Lane. I do believe you're caught up with the 88 machine finishing P2. That's Michael Churchman.
Unofficially position number 2, Michael Churchman. I'm sure you did not expect that race to finish the way it did.
Yeah, it's Dega though. That's what happens, and I was gonna try my best to get the truck in front of me up there to win, or either that I was going to try and make a move on him at the last minute there, but it didn't work out that way and finished under caution, and I'll take second though.
Definitely happy to take second. You found a way to keep working up front all night. You seem to be, if not in the top 3, within shooting distance of the top 3. How much preparation went into your race here tonight at Talladega?
Oh, we had a lot of preparation. I was actually working on a set with David Wenck and a couple other guys, so I do appreciate him helping me out a little bit, and seemed to be worked out pretty good to get us a top 3 finish.
Definitely a good way to end your night, end the campaign tonight. You've got a lot. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about with this, but tonight's win, a huge step in the right direction for the season 4 campaign. How much confidence are you going to take from this top 3 finish into our next race at Atlanta?
Yeah, I'm going to take a big step here, and definitely a second place finish here will help me moving on to Atlanta. So definitely good in the point standings there then.
Definitely got to be a good feeling after finishing just behind the leader last year in the last season.
Yes, sir. Yep, most definitely.
Michael Churchman driving the number 88 machine. Before I let you go, any shots like give anything you'd like to offer? Microphone's all yours.
Yes, I'd like to thank my new sponsors on board here, Lafarge employees, and thanks for all the people over at CORA put this race on tonight, and had a good time, and we'll see you over at Atlanta.
That is a driver of the number 88 machine, Michael Churchill. Michael, congratulations on the big finish. I'm sure we will see you doing well in Atlanta in just 1 week's time.
Most definitely. Thanks, guys.
That's Michael Churchman finishing provisionally second tonight. Evan, I'm not exactly sure where the number 69 of Dale Smalley wandered off to, and I'm sure we'll try to talk to him before the race is over tonight.
If I could interrupt you for a second, Joe.
Let's go while we're trying to get Dale Smalley. Let's go ahead and talk to Kevin McCarthy, our Chief Operating Officer and Head of Competition here at CORA Championship Online Racing Association. And I don't envy your job tonight because you've got a lot to sort out tonight.
Yeah, there was quite a bit going on the track tonight. We were a little bit taken aside for the amount of cautions that we had there. Qualifiers went pretty good this week, and with the way it was going, it just seemed to be really just unfortunate that it went the way it did. The competition was great out there. The racing was good. Just there was a little bit too many cautions for my like. But reason why I popped up in here was just to let you guys know that because of the last incident which we have in our rule package, giving an EOL, anybody running into the back of a driver is EOL'd. So at that last point, Dale had said he had looked down for a moment and ran into the back of the trucks that were in front of him, just behind the pace car, and turning them around and that. So he's been given an EOL, putting him to the back of the pack. And that brings up, I believe, Everett Lane into third place.
Definitely a hard break for the 69 machine. Let me ask you this real quick for the benefit of those watching at home. After you have a race like this, after you have a race with so many incidents, how much work goes into reviewing the race and managing the race, and then ultimately figuring out everything to have better competition in the weeks to come?
Well, during the qualifiers, we do try to emphasize about the fact that we are on TV come Sunday, and everybody to act accordingly. Working with all the guys in the tower, James Brown, Gordon Berkey, Alan Larson when he's not on the track, Colin Foreman, Terry Hurley. It's just a big Carl Jones, big concerted effort between us all to go back onto the incidents, look them over, find out what drivers are maybe having problems. We have drivers meetings, trying to go over stuff that may have been a problem, may have been some sort of mindset or whatever, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we do with the drivers, both coaching them and finding out what that we can do to make their racing better.
Kevin McCarthy, your Chief Operating Officer and Director of Competition here at CORA. Thank you for joining us here in the booth tonight. Thank you for the clarification on how this field will finish. And hopefully we'll see a lot better racing, a lot more fun racing in Atlanta in 1 week's time.
10-4, thanks for having me up here, and I'll pass you on to Everett there.
That's Kevin McCarthy, your Chief Operating Officer and Director of Competition. Let's go ahead and go back down to Evan Pasoko, who's now caught up with our our provisional third place finisher, Everett Lane.
Definitely Everett Lane just getting the word down here on the pit lane that he's going to get a top 3 out of this thing, Everett, after initially thinking that you're going to finish 4th. that little bump up to be able to say you got on the podium in the first race definitely helps a lot.
Oh, for sure. I'll take anything I can get. It was a wild race tonight out there. It was a lot of fun, a lot of wheel-to-wheel battling, door banging. Just seemed to be in the right place at the right time there at the end. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Definitely coming into this race to kick off the 2014 Season 4 campaign with CORA. 101 laps on the board at Talladega. Talladega in the trucks is always a spot-on combination and one of our favorites here at LSR TV. Coming into a race of this distance, you yourself at a number 1 machine qualified 12th, so a solid qualifying effort. What kind of mentality and strategy you got to take into a race of this length?
Well, we get together with our team and we go over our game plan before the beginning of these big long races. And, the game plan is just try to keep your nose clean, stay out of trouble. And the last 20 laps is just race as hard as you can race and as clean as you can race. Had a real good time tonight. The car setups worked great tonight. I just can't ask for anything else better than be a third place finish. I'm pretty happy with that.
Definitely, we're taking a look at your number 1 fast lane racing machine. Any sponsors and shout outs you want to throw out there? The mic's all yours.
Oh, yes, definitely fast lane racing. Big part of that. The drivers for me, all the drivers, Rex, Mike, Joel, all those guys are good racers. Neon Racing, who also helps out with setup. So it's a pretty good group. I want to thank WW Trucking for the biggest sponsor of all. Trucking, that WW Trucking wouldn't make this possible for fast lane racing if it wasn't them. I'd like to thank them out of Sandwich, Illinois. I really appreciate everything they do for fast lane racing and what we can do for them.
Definitely 10-4, bud. Congrats on the podium, and we look to see you up front in the coming weeks.
10-4, thank you very much. And I love to thank CORA for everything they do for this awesome iRacing. This is so much fun.
And for Joe, that is your third place finisher, Everett Lane. And now I do believe you're caught up with the driver of the 69 machine, Dale Smalley, after he's getting word of the late race changes made by the CORA officials.
Dale Smalley in the number 69 truck. Dale, you had a truck that started on the pole. It was fast all night. You've got to be incredibly disappointed in how it all ended.
Oh, yeah, but it was my own fault. A little stupidity. I looked down for a second and ran into the back of him. I can't even say nothing about it. It is my fault.
Hard way to start the defense of championship number 4. What's the plan for Atlanta?
Just get out there and run fast. Go fast, turn left. Hopefully I'll win. Or get up there. Just got to be consistent. That's all.
Dale Smalley Drywall presenting tonight's race here at Talladega Super Speedway. Give us a word for Dale Smalley Drywall real quick.
I can do anything you need as far as drywall, painting, any type of construction. Anything anybody needs, I can get it done.
Dale Smalley Drywall, the sponsor of the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 to kick off the CORA Season 4. Dale, hopefully better luck to you in 1 week's time when we go racing from Atlanta.
Yeah, thank you. Hope so.
That's Dale Smalley, very heartbroken after a tough finish tonight. That will do it for us here from Talladega Super Speedway, the Dale Smalley Drywall 101 in the books. On behalf of our entire broadcast team, my partner in crime, Evan Pisoko, executive producer Laura Lawson, I am Joe Cortez. We will see you back with CORA in 1 week when we go racing in the trucks from Atlanta. Until then, keep the hammer down. We'll see you next time live on LSR TV. Good night, everybody.